service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com. Bonsall Pool & Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool & Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. Why have you not stopped in lately to see me? If you haven't been to The Night Before in a while, you're missing out. Up to 20 beautiful ladies each night. Newly remodeled bar. Oh, and we now have a 12-foot video wall to watch all the big games on. Come watch a game at The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1. Check us out on Instagram at The Night Before Lounge. Hope to see you soon.
Come watch the Lincoln Stars on Saturday, November 15th as the Sioux Falls Stampede come to town. It's flyaway night as the Stars are giving away 2 round-trip flights to Orlando courtesy of the Lincoln Airport. Every ticket is a registration and you must be present at the game to win when the prize is drawn in the third period. There's no Husker volleyball or football game that night, so pack the icebox on Saturday, November 15th against the Sioux Falls Stampede for flyaway night.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome into the Nebraska High School football pregame show. I'm Tristan Gomez. I'll take you through some of the games we got going on tonight. Happy Halloween to everyone. More importantly, though, it is Nebraska High School football playoffs. They're underway today, and you can't be more excited for these schools, these fans, these coaches to go out, these players especially, and make some memories. We'll talk a little bit about just what the brackets are looking like across the state in each class, some intriguing matchups. Austin sent me a few intriguing matchups he's got for this nightly slate of games. Once we finish up with that, we'll send you out to Malcolm as Lincoln Lutheran, the Warriors, head out there for round one to take off the Malcolm Clippers. Fun fact about that game, they played last week and then coincidentally got matched up again this week in round one of the playoffs. Malcolm being the 6th seed in Class C2 and Lincoln Lutheran being the number 11 seed. With that being said, let's get into it. Let's start with some Class A football. And feel free, if you have any big games, some players you're excited to watch, please text in at the Starter Heyman text line. That is 402-464. Let me make sure I got this right. 402-464-5685. So let's get into it. Text in, join in the conversation here. Excited to see some matchups, intriguing matchups. Austin sent me a few we'll get into. But let's start with Class A football. The 1 seed will start at the top. The 1 seed, Omaha West Side. This comes due to the wild card. They lead in wild card points at 45.4s. Coming in at one loss, 8-1. Millard South, which we will get to, is actually the 4 seed. So if those teams play like we've seen them play all year, they will end up playing in the state semifinals rather than the state championship. So we won't get a rematch in the Class A state championship, but we will hopefully see them in the playoffs if everything goes according to schedule for them. Omaha West Side takes on Bellevue West. Tough matchup. Nick and Jay headed out to Lincoln Southwest earlier this year at Seacrest Field as Bellevue West kind of put the brakes to the Silverhawks. So Bellevue West, a team that's 5-4, but lost some pretty tough games, close games. I believe they lost to West Side previously, and then Elkhorn South, as well as Omaha Central. So they've played some tough opponents. That's going to be a tough game for West Side, but I do think they will handle that one. On to the next. We got some out-of-towners, some Western Nebraska schools. Columbus takes on Kearney. That'll be at the University of Kearney. A tough place to play always. I remember in high school at Millard West, we headed out there my junior year to take on the Bearcats. And it's a tough environment. When the whole town gets excited and gets around those games, you can really tell that there's a different type of energy than when you're just playing, a school in Omaha, a school in Lincoln. They really get behind their Bearcats. I'm going to take the Bearcats in that one, and so is Austin. Next up, we have Elkhorn South hosting Millard West. My Millard West Wildcats. I'm a proud Millard West alumni. Unfortunately, we lost in the state semifinals my 2 years as quarterback. One to Bellevue West, who ended up winning it, and the other to Burke, who ended up winning it with some unbelievable athletes such as Xavier Watts and Nick Heinrich. But in that game, I'm going to have to go against my Wildcats. I think Elkhorn South has been a dominant team so far this year. Has played pretty well, especially in a tough schedule. I know West Side was a tough loss for them, but they've bounced back. They're 7-2, taking on the 5-4 Millard West Wildcats. Austin in that one has Millard West taking the W. So we'll see. A little feel bad for myself now in that Austin has the Wildcats and I don't, but we'll see how that one plays out. Next, we have Omaha Westview taking on Millard South. This is a tough draw for the number 13 seed Omaha Westview. You get into the playoffs, and typically if you're playing a 4 seed, you're probably not playing the best team in the state, as we've seen so far. Unfortunately, they will be taking on the Patriots of Millard South. Hopefully that's not too much of a lopsided one, but by the looks of how Millard South season so far, I think it could get ugly in the first round of the playoffs for Omaha Westview. Moving on, Austin also has Millard South. Go figure. I think most people do. Number 3, Papio Vista South host Lincoln North Star. That's going to be a little bit of a travel day for the North Star Navigators as they take on the Papillion La Vista South Titans. With that being said, I think Papillion La Vista South is going to take the W in that one. It seems like they have a program that they've really turned around so far this year. They're coming in at 8-1 with the 3 seed, which is very impressive as they're a team that has not only struggled in the past, but they continue to just get better and better and better, which is super impressive out of the Titans. Next, we have number 11 Millard North taking on Omaha North. It's the Battle of the Norths in Omaha. With that being said, Omaha North has been a team that I think has had a pretty tough schedule when it comes to the teams that they have lost to. Let me look that up real quick because I think they've played some pretty close games. But it's been they've won the games I believe they're supposed to win, and then they came up a little bit short in the games they haven't. So looking at their 3 losses, they lose to Omaha Westside week 1. And then they actually beat Papillion La Vista South, who's the 3 seed. Omaha Central, dominant win. Lose to Kearney, 14-13. So that's one they probably wish they had back. And then they handle Lincoln Northeast, handle Buena Vista, South Sioux City, Bellevue West. And they lose at Seacrest Field to the Lincoln Southwest Silverhawks last week. That's a tough one for the Vikings, but they're ready to go for the playoffs as they take on the Miller North Mustangs. That'll be a good one to watch. That is actually one of Austin's intriguing games. He has Omaha North versus Miller North. That's one where anyone can really win this. Miller North has gotten away from their traditional wing T, read option, triple option offense, and they're starting to spread it out a little bit. And I think with a school with so many athletes and so many students just in general, that's going to be very beneficial for the Mustangs. Coming into the playoffs at the number 11 seed with a record of 4-5. You don't see that too often, but we'll see how that pans out. Following that, we have Omaha Central hosting Lincoln East. Omaha Central, a school that is 6-3, but has some big wins under their belt. They beat Omaha Westside. That was a big win. And it seems like they've been in control of their own destiny. You know, the games that they've lost, it seems as if they almost beat themselves. And the games that they've won, they've handled pretty easily. And Omaha Westside is a huge victory, who I believe is the number 2 team in the country, or in the state, my apologies, in the state behind Millard South. So I'm going to take Omaha Central in that one. And then I'm going to go with, in our final game, we have Lincoln Southeast heading to Creighton Prep. Creighton Prep coming in 8-1 as well. That's a game I expect the Junior Jays to handle pretty well, playing at Burke Stadium. Other intriguing games from Austin, Elkhorn South, Millard West. That's one that we talked about. And I'm curious how the Wildcats show up for that one. And Papio South, Lincoln North Star. That'll be one to see if the Navigators, a team that has over the years continuously gotten better as well. And I'm excited to see how that one pans out. Moving on to Class B. In Class B, the number 1 seed is Waverly, and they take on Northwest. I expect Waverly to handle this one pretty well coming into this game at 9-0. Next, in that 8-9 matchup, we have McCook versus Seward. Both of them coming in at 7-2. That is being played at Concordia University in Seward. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with Seward just playing at home. It's crazy looking at these matchups. So in Class A, you have a little bit of travel in these matchups, but it seems like it's going from Omaha to Lincoln, Lincoln to Omaha. You have Columbus and Kearney playing against each other. But outside of that, it's not too much travel. When you look at these Class B games, and we'll get down to it in Class C as well, it's unbelievable how much the travel really occurs. And if you are the away team, you end up winning in week 1 of the playoffs, then you end up being the host the following week. So you could be a higher seed still traveling quite a few miles to end up in as the higher seed still playing an away game. But with that being said, I'm going to take Seward in that one. Next, we got number 5 Bennington taking on Plattsmouth. Bennington coming at 7-2, Plattsmouth at 5-4. I'm going to go with the Bennington Badgers in this one, a school that seems to be pretty dominant in Class B throughout the years and always at the top of the conversation. Next, we have Lincoln's own Lincoln Pius X coming in at 4-5 at the 13 seed, and they take on Elkhorn North. Elkhorn North, a new up-and-coming school in Class B, and it seems like they've taken it by storm. They've beat Scott previously this season, which was a huge win for them, and I'm curious to see how they trend in these playoffs. And all these schools have high hopes. All these schools want to end up playing in Memorial Stadium. So let's see if Elkhorn North can be one of them making it there. Next, we have Scotts Bluff taking on York. York got quite a bit of travel to get out there to score Scotts Bluff. Scotts Bluff at 8-1. Number 11, Gretna at 5-4. They take on Norris at Norris. Norris coming in at 8-1, a school that is up and down throughout the years, but this must be one of their better years. And they'll host Gretna, the Dragons, tonight at 7. Next, we have number 7, Omaha Skutt Catholic, who won it last year, which is a bit of a surprise to see them at number 7. They come in at 7-2. Typically, there's a lot of commotion when it comes to the Skyhawks and are possibly the recruiting and just being a private school and what they've done throughout the years and just been so dominant over quite a few other Class B schools. But they come in at the 7th seed, and they will host Gearing. A lot of travel for Gearing. That's going to be a long trip. Hopefully they can make it worthwhile and it can be a good game for them. And hopefully we get some good football out of that. Next, we have Lincoln Standing Bear at number 15. They come in at 4-5, and they will take on the Gretna East Griffins, who are 8-1. So a lot of great matchups going into this playoffs. A lot of travel for these Class B teams, whether they're heading from Lincoln to Omaha, from York to Scottsbluff, or from Gearing to Omaha Scott Catholic. There's a lot to get into. We'll be right back here on the high school football pregame show. We got so many more matchups. We'll get into Class U1. We'll go over some of our predictions. I got Austin's predictions, who we think could possibly make a run at the table, maybe a sleeper pick for the state title game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Hi, everybody. Charlie Stone back again with Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, there are so many great things to talk about right now. Let's start with new and pre-owned vehicles.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, we're all excited those days of inventory shortages are behind us. Right now, we have more than 400 new Hondas to choose from and over 125 pre-owned with just about any make or model in stock.
I know certified pre-owned Hondas are a very important part of your dealership. Tell us about certified, Andy.
We always have a great selection of certified pre-owned Hondas in stock in like new condition, and they also come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty.
How about service?
You know, our amazing service department not only services Hondas, but we service just about any make, and we are one of the largest tire dealers in the state. Look us up the next time you need tires on your car.
Experience the best at the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
You're invited to a Halloween karaoke party at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards on October 31st. Stop by Madsen's from 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. for live music and a live podcast, costume contest, poker, and of course, karaoke. Admission is free, and there's still plenty of TVs to catch the Friday night college football games as well. That's 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. on Friday, October 31st for the Halloween karaoke party at Madsen's Bowling and Billiards, just south of 48th and Holder.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
There's always a new experience to be had at Arbor Day Farm in Nebraska City. From events, adventures, wine tastings, or the Discovery Ride, you can never get tired of seeing what the property has to offer. Make a weekend out of it by staying at the Lead Lodge and enhance your stay with their special packages that include luxurious treatment. Learn more or book your adventure today online at arbordayfarm.org.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Are you familiar with everything the Lincoln Children's Museum offers? Camps, field trips, and game day playdates are just a few of the extraordinary programs provided by the Lincoln Children's Museum. When you spend a day with your family at the Lincoln Children's Museum, your child's mind can explore while enjoying the many interactive exhibits they have, while keeping admission prices extremely affordable. Stop by the Lincoln Children's Museum today in downtown Lincoln, or visit them online for more information at lincolnchildrensmuseum.org.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back into the Nebraska High School Football pregame show. The high school football playoffs are underway. They're starting here in the state of Nebraska, and we're all excited to see what teams make some memories, what teams surprise us, what schools put their names in Nebraska State history. With that being said, we already touched on the Class A bracket, the Class B bracket. Now we'll touch on a little Class C, C1, C2, and then I'll make my predictions for who I got in winning it all for all these classes. It's early in the playoffs. There's a lot of football to be played left, but there's some teams I got in my head. If you got some teams that you're excited to see these playoffs make it to Memorial Stadium and put their name in Nebraska high school football history, text in at the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. So let's get into it. Class C1. Number 1, Wahoo at 9-0. They will host Milford, who is 6-3. Wahoo coming off a state championship last year. I believe that they will handle this one pretty easily. Next, we have number 9, Mount Michael, taking on number 8, O'Neill. A little bit of travel for Mount Michael as they head out to O'Neill. I'm curious how much this travel plays an impact in these games. Class A, a little bit. Class B gets some more. Class C1, C2, you got teams traveling quite a ways across this state. I'm curious how that plays a part for these schools. I got O'Neill in that one. Next, we have number 5, Syracuse hosting number 12, Omaha Gross Catholic. That's going to be one where Syracuse coming in at 9-0. Surprising being the 5 seed at 9-0, it comes down to the strength of schedule, the teams they've played. They've beaten everyone they've played so far, but with that being said, they probably haven't played those highly ranked teams. Obviously haven't played Wahoo, haven't played Sydney, and haven't played Columbus Lakeview, who are all 9-0, which we will get to those games. I expect Syracuse to handle this one. I think when you come in with just a winning mindset, you expect to win every single time. With that being said, though, you worry sometimes, especially in the playoffs with these undefeated teams, where you get a little too comfortable or you haven't faced a whole bunch of adversity throughout the season. And so once you face a little bit of adversity in these games, and these teams are preparing every day of the week to get ready for Friday night, you face a little bit of adversity and you run into maybe some miscues. You try to be a hero and you don't know how to, face that adversity and take it head on. So we'll see how that plays out. I do have Syracuse in that one. Next, we have number 13, Chadron. They will head to Ashland Greenwood. Another travel. Wow, these schools are traveling all across the state. Be fun to be on the interstate right now, seeing all those buses, just taking teams, all these parents, fans, all traveling to watch these kids get after it. Next, we have, speaking of that, I'll take Ashland Greenwood in that one. Next, we have number 3, Sydney. They host number 14, Pierce. Sydney also coming in at 9-0. I expect them to handle this one at home. They have already played at 2 o'clock. I'll have to go back and look at the scores of some of these games. Next, we have Gothenburg, number 11. They will head to Fort Calhoun, who is the number 6 seed at 7-2. Give me Gothenburg. Give me a little upset. I feel like I haven't given too many upsets so far in these matchups. I'd like to not just favor the higher seed because who knows when it comes to the playoffs. Anything can happen. Next, we have number 7, Central City at 8-1. They will host Aurora, 6-3. Aurora, a school that has been dominant for years, always seem to be at the top. They're the number 10 seed this season, though. Number 15, Boys Town. They will head to Columbus Lakeview. Boys Town coming at 5-4. Columbus Lakeview, another one of those 9-0 teams. I guess that's something you see a little bit more often in the different classes is you're not playing everyone, or you're not playing, there's so many schools and you're sticking to your area, or you're just not going across the state every single week. So you're playing teams that you continuously beat. And we have 4 9-0 teams, all teams that haven't lost, haven't felt the, upsetness of defeat, and they're going to the playoffs with a lot of confidence. I'm going to take Columbus Lakeview in that one. Now to Class C2. This is where we got Nick and Jay at tonight. I will send you over there in just a little bit, about 6:45, and they'll take you through the calling of Lincoln Lutheran at Malcolm, which should be a good game. Interesting enough, they played last week. We'll get into it. We'll get into that score. But let's start at the top. Class C2. Number 1, Cedar Catholic. They are coming in at 9-0, and they are hosting Hershey. I expect Cedar Catholic to win that one. Number 9, Ord. Number 8, Donovan Trumbull. A little bit of a combination school there. I'm expecting... This is tough. I'm going to go with Donovan Trumbull. They're coming in at 8-1. And then next we have number 5, Archbishop Bergen. At number 5, they are taking on Wood River, home of the very own Scott Frost. But I'm going to take Archbishop Bergen in that one. Number 13, West Point Beamer against Grand Island Central Catholic. In that one, I'm going to go with Grand Island Central Catholic. I feel like they're a school that dominates in Class C2 quite a bit over the past few years. Next, we have number 11, Lincoln Lutheran at Malcolm. You'll hear that game in just a little bit right here on 93.7 The Ticket, so don't go anywhere. But in that game, I'm going to go with Austin Orman, Lincoln Lutheran alum. He's a Warrior at heart. I'm an Austin Orman fan. We're going to go with Lincoln Lutheran with the upset. They lost to Malcolm last week, I believe, to a score of 20-7. So they're going to want to bounce back. But it's always hard to beat a team twice. We see this all the time in high school football, college football. We see it in the NFL. It's tough to really beat a team twice because when you lose, there's so many mistakes or things that you look back and you go, we could do that better. We could do that better. We could do that better. But when you win those games, you're just happy, you're excited, and it's tougher to find the negatives in that game because you say, well, we came out on top. We did the things right. While the losing team has the opportunity to make so many changes and go in with a different mindset. And so I'm going to go with Lincoln Lutheran. I'm going to take the Warriors in this one. Next, we have number 7, Norfolk Catholic at 7-2, taking on UTAN. I'm going to go with Norfolk Catholic. They're another school that I think does pretty well year in and year out. And then lastly, in Class C2, we have Arlington, number 15 at 5-4. They're taking on Bishop Newman, number 2 at 8-1. I'm going to go with Bishop Newman in that one. So now, before we head out and I send you out to Malcolm, Nebraska for the calling of the game between Nick and Jay, I'm going to just go through who I got winning these state playoffs. Although Omaha West Side is the number 1 seed, I think it's pretty obvious what we've seen so far in Class A is Millard South has been absolutely dominant. I actually want to look up Millard South's schedule and just read off how easy they have won some of these games, because it has been by unbelievable margin to schools that are ranked highly right now in the state in Class A. They're ranked high in the state playoff bracket, and they're teams that have, wiped the floor with some other teams, and Millard South has just been absolutely dominant. So let's go through their schedule. So to start, they faced Arborview, team out of Vegas. They won 49-7, but due to some faulty paperwork, they ended up having to forfeit that one, take that one as a loss. Next, they host Millard West, who is in the state football playoffs, and they beat them 65-0. Millard West coming in at the 12th seed. Next, they take on Kearney. They beat Kearney at Kearney 72-0. Kearney is the 8th seed. Next, they take on Millard North. They beat Millard North 70-7. Millard North is the 11th seed. 3 teams they've beat by a margin of victory no less than 65, and they weren't even close. And those are all teams that are in the playoffs. Next, they beat Lincoln Southeast 77-0, Papillion La Vista 58-3. Lincoln High, they won as a forfeit. And then North Platte 84-0 and Benson 63-0. They take on Westview tonight. I'm expecting Millard South to come out no differently than they have all season. They have arguably easily the best defense in the state, as well as the best offense. You have a quarterback going Alabama and Jet Tamalia, and some just absolute athletes and weapons in the run game and the pass game. I'm going to go with Millard South in this one. Next, we have Class B. Waverly, they're a dominant school. They're a school that we've seen play extremely well over the years, and they always seem to be in contention, whether they're in the state championship or they're losing in the semis or playing in the semis. They're always there. They come in at the 1 seed. Last year, Omaha Scott Catholic took that one home, but Scott coming in at the 7 seed this year. I don't want to just take the 1 seed because that's the easy way out, but I do like Waverly. I think they're a school that does things the right way. They know how to prepare for games. They understand big games. I also really like Gretna East. I think that's a school that's up and coming, as we've seen. They come in at 8-1. With that being said, though, I'm going to go with Waverly in Class B. Next, in Class C1, last year, Wahoo, they won the state championship by a margin of 47-7 against Central City. And this year, I don't expect any differently. I think they're going to be running the table throughout this whole playoff. And I'm going to go with the Wahoo Warriors in this one. I think they have a lot of guys returning. They have a good coaching staff. They understand how to win. I'm going to go with Wahoo for this. In Class C2, we got quite a few undefeated schools. We got Cedar Catholic, Kearney Catholic, Bishop Neumann. They come in at 8-1. I like Kearney Catholic, though, at the 3 seed, coming in at 9-0. Haven't had the strength of schedule that Cedar Catholic and Bishop Neumann had, but they still have won every game that they've played in. I'm going to go with Kearney Catholic in that one. So with that being said, that was quite a few of the games we got going on. It's so fun to look at the Class D1 and D2 schedule or playoff because there are so many teams, and it's so cool that they just find a way to have every single one of these teams in the playoff. Looking at this, Shelby Rising City comes in at 9-0. They won week 1, 44-22 against Boyd County. I'll be honest, I don't know enough about these schools, these towns, these cities to understand who's really dominant. But when you're 9-0, you can't argue with the stats. You can't argue with facts. So with that being said, I'm going to go with them in the Class D1 playoffs. Now, let's talk about some of the best high school football teams we've seen as of late. Obviously, we have schools like Millard, a school like Millard South right now, who's been absolutely dominant in Class B. We've had Omaha Scott Catholic, who has been absolutely dominant. I'm curious if there are any other schools that are going to, progressively be that dominant school. Wahoo Catholic or Wahoo coming off a win in the state championship last year, coming in at the 1 seed and 9-0. So many good schools around the state that almost just they continue to get better and better, which is so impressive. I am curious. Austin and I have had talks about this. When it comes to Millard South, people have argued it's sometimes unsafe for them to be out there, argue about the recruiting. Are they bringing in players? There's two sides of it, and I see both of them. On one side, if you're an athlete and you want to play at the highest level, you want to go play college football, you want to play with the best of the best, that is at Millard South, and you have the opportunity to have coaches be looking at you. When you have a 5-star quarterback throwing you the ball, it makes you look a little bit better. When you have an unbelievable offensive line that gives him time to get it to his weapons, when they have a run game, when you have a defense that is everyone's fighting to get the tackle, everyone's fighting to make plays, it makes it easier to get your name out there. Do I think a national schedule could be a possibility for Millard South? I think this year, yes. I think it would have been great for them this year just to test themselves a little bit more as we went through their schedule and the margin of victory. I don't think, other than in Vegas week 1, in the state of Nebraska, they have not won. They've won every game by more than 55 points. 55 points is unbelievable. Not even a close one. Not a school hasn't scored more than 7 points on them. They've actually only allowed 17 points on the whole year. But as we've seen before, we had Omaha Burke. I'll just go back to when I played. We had Omaha Burke who ended up winning it all. They had Chris Hickman, Nick Heinrich, Xavier Watts, just some unbelievable athletes, and they won the state championship with ease. But that was 1 year. And then the next year, Bellevue West wins it with Jay Ducker. They have Xavier Betts, who ended up at the University of Nebraska. So they had some weapons on that team as well. But then after that, another school comes in and wins it. So you can't argue that Millard South just needs to play a national schedule because we don't know what this team will be like next year. We didn't know after last year this was going to be the outcome of every single game for this year. But with that being said, we're going to send it over to Nick and Jay over in Malcolm, Nebraska, as they will be calling the game for Lincoln Lutheran at Malcolm. That's the number 11 seed taking on the number 6 seed in Class C2 football. Don't go anywhere. They'll be coming at you soon. Thanks for tuning in to the high school football pregame show here at 93.7 The Ticket.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day. It will be breezy, afternoon high around 54. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with light breeze, a low around 33. And tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies and light winds, afternoon high around 48. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hey guys, it's Monet here with The Night Before. Why have you not stopped in lately to see me? If you haven't been to The Night Before in a while, you are missing out. Up to 20 beautiful ladies each night. Newly remodeled bar. Oh, and we now have a 12-foot video wall to watch all the big games on. Come watch a game at The Night Before. Mention this ad and your first beer is $1. Check us out on Instagram at The Night Before Lounge. Hope to see you soon.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Copple Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at copplecars.com.
Schwezo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schwezo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schwezo.com. That's schwisow.com. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in. It is Malcolm High School, the site for postseason football. Nick Sandert alongside Jay Foreman. Jay, we've taken a couple of weeks of a hiatus because Nebraska football's gone on. There's been some scheduling things that have happened as well, but we are here. First week of postseason action, and it feels like deja vu for a lot of people in the stadium here tonight because this is a rematch of week 8 of the regular season. These two teams played at this exact same time last week on the very same field. That one resulted in a win for the road team. It's a matchup between the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors and the Malcolm Clippers. Once again, this is high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Nick Sandert alongside the Hustle Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. Jay, all right, we have Lincoln Lutheran coming in 6-3 overall. The Malcolm Clippers 7-2 overall here. We said it right before we came on air. Feels like small town football, and it's the exact way the postseason is supposed to feel.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is an interesting matchup considering they played last week, but then also, this I like this. This brings back some good memories, Nick. When you're, small town football, this is where, legends are made, and obviously for some of these kids, it's their last high school game. And so even though you played last week, losing, one team losing 20-7, doesn't mean anything when you're in the playoffs. So it's going to be interesting to see how the outcome comes out of this game.
You have a feel of small town football because it's noise everywhere, and not bad noise by any means, but you can probably hear the live rendition of the Star Spangled Banner behind us. We're just in close quarters here, and there's no better way to spend a Friday night for high school football here. But once again, it's Lincoln Lutheran versus Malcolm. Lincoln Lutheran won this game 20-7 last Friday right here at Malcolm as well. But Lincoln Lutheran's banged up, backup quarterback. It's going to be obviously still, for the consecutive weeks. Henry Prokop started the season as a wide receiver, transitioned to quarterback, and he's done a pretty good job for the Warriors.
Yeah, I mean, Sean Wheating obviously comes in with a high-powered offense and a mindset that doesn't matter who's playing. You got to produce, and so is rinse and repeat. And Prokop has done a really good job, and obviously the rest of his cast and crew has done a good job as well. So if they are able to stay on schedule, we know Lincoln Lutheran can be pretty dangerous.
Well, and when we look at the Warriors, one thing that especially Prokop does, he throws it well. Sure, his season's totals completes just shy of 54% of his throws, has over 1,300 yards, 16 touchdowns, only 8 INTs. also runs well, has over 700 rushing yards on the year. Talk about the differences, because you and I and a lot of our listeners get to see Class A football often, but this is Class C2. All right. So maybe smaller roster numbers, wearing other teams down. Also, sometimes the mentality out here might also be a little stronger than those that we see from the city kids as well. And so, Jay, I talk about the differences between Class A versus Class C2. Even more so, maybe this is a better comparison, Class B to C2.
Yeah, look, when you play in Class C2 and even sometimes in Class B, you don't have a choice but to play both ways. So you got to have that grit and that intestinal fortitude to be able to push through some hard times. You got to know a lot more. There's a lot more pressure. And when you have a really good player like Prokop, is that he can be that factor, and he can really win a game on his own. Now they have Kuhlman, who's a pretty good-looking tight end. We saw him a couple years ago against when Lincoln Lutheran played Pius, and so he's obviously continued to grow and get better. But this Lincoln Lutheran offense, and obviously with the host of their good individual players, are really a good team, really well coached. And this is a really even match here against Malcolm. And it's going to be interesting to see who comes out on top.
Statistically here, when you look at the Malcolm Clippers, quarterback is going to be number 5, a 6-foot, 170-pound junior, Gavin Little. Little on the year has completed just over 90 passes on the season, 165 attempts for him, good for about 56% of the time, 12 touchdowns, 5 INTs. His counterpart in the backfield, though, a senior by the name of Brixton Meyer, a 5'11", 165-pound bowling ball. Brixton Meyer, 123 carries on the year. He's carried the rock a few times.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of thunder, lightning, right? Obviously, where you have the lightning in the quarterback and Little, and then obviously Meyer has been able to do the opposite and be the bowling ball and keep them on schedule. So they're going to try to be physical. They have a pretty big offensive line, especially for this class of school, and they're very young as well. And I think some of the early learning lessons that have paid off late in the season. They're on a pretty good winning streak. They feel confident what they're doing, and so they're no longer freshmen and sophomores. They're out there and they are in playoff mode, and they're gonna live and die with their running attack. And so they like what Meyer does, and they also like what Little's being able to do at the quarterback position.
One of the things I love is as postseason football gets in, I mean, you just had to make it, right? And now it's anybody's ball game. Class A, we kind of know what to expect, right? Millard South's probably going to be close to the finish line, if not at the finish line, when it's all said and done. Kind of a common thought there. Class B, I think, is as wide open as it ever has been, especially in the time that you and I have been covering it.
Yeah, I mean, Class B. I mean, Class A is essentially, it's Millard South, obviously West Side, probably, Omaha North, maybe Kearney, but, really, Millard South has put themselves up in a different category as of right now. I think West Side is maybe laying in the weeds, and it'll be interesting to see what happens when they play. Class B is going to be exciting because whether you like it, love it, or hate it, Bennington, it came on the scene. Scott is still there. They did it last year. Now, Scott lost a lot. Now it's up, right? You see Waverly. You obviously Scott's still, they're starting to get into form. Bennington's always going to be a factor. You got Elkhorn North that is really started to come along. Gretna East, I think, they're Class A, but Gretna East, and you got some other schools that are Elkhorn that are pretty competitive. So Class B is going to be styles make fights, the seeding, and then who's able to play, within their wheelhouse, as closer as possible to get to the state championship.
Yeah, you look at Class C2, obviously at the top, it's Cedar Catholic, 9-0, undefeated there. But then elsewhere, it is wide open. A lot of teams, including this game right here, 7-2 record, 6-3, 8-1 potentially for some of these. There's a lot of teams. It's wide open, anybody's ball game. It's going to be a good matchup here. We are just over 5 minutes from kickoff here from Malcolm High School. Lincoln Lutheran versus the Malcolm Clippers. It is the 6-3 Warriors against the 7-2 Malcolm Clippers here in the first round of the Class C2 playoffs. Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman, Tristan Gomez back in Tristan Gomes back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios. We'll step aside, come back for kickoff between the Clippers and the Warriors here in just a few moments on 93.7 The Ticket.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Your possibilities are endless at Doane University. Rooted in liberal arts, you can choose from undergraduate and graduate programs, all delivering real-world experience. At Doane University, we take a personal approach to education, giving you the guidance you need to own your future. It's not just our long history of innovative learning, it's the feeling of being surrounded by possibilities that makes us different. Now is your time. Apply today at doane.edu/apply.
Ready to score big with your projects? Look no further than Edward Stone, the MVP of natural stone for over 2 decades. Edward Stone is cranking out over 30,000 square feet every week and offers a winning lineup of over 70 quality natural veneer stone selections. Their unbeatable variety and experienced team will ensure your project is a success, whether it's a home renovation or a commercial build. And hey, they're not just about stone. They've got an all-star lineup of fireplaces, cast stone, brick, and much more. Swing by one of their locations in Lincoln or Omaha today and experience the Edward Stone difference, your reliable choice for over 20 years.
Attention, Nebraska sports fans. Are you ready to take your skills to the next level? The Army National Guard is looking for leaders who are dedicated, driven, and ready to make a difference. Join up and gain invaluable experience while serving your country with a flexible schedule, competitive benefits, and a chance to build a strong future. Learn more at nationalguard.com/Nebraska. Live here, serve here. The Nebraska Army National Guard. Guard the good life.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate at 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is a presentation of Nebraska High School football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. High school football broadcasts are powered by Edward Stone, Sunbelt Rentals, Union Bank and Trust, Doane University, Hamilton Telecommunications, Jimmy John's, Nebraska Army National Guard, Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office, and Play It Again Sports. Now, calling all the action, here's Nick Sainert and Jay Foreman.
That is right. It is Malcolm High School, the site for Class C2. First round of the postseason here. Lincoln Lutheran going up against the Malcolm Clippers. Good evening. Happy Friday night. Happy fall football weather here in the postseason. Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Com. Got a good one on tap as we just kind of broke it down a few minutes ago. Malcolm versus Lincoln Lutheran. To get things started, Malcolm will kick things off left to right from our vantage point up here in the press box. A press box that was taken away by a tornado back in the first week of August. New lights at the stadium, still a town somewhat not rebuilding, but just kind of improving, if you will, as we are ready to go. Lincoln Lutheran, a couple of guys back deep. They'll go right to left, wearing the white helmets, white jerseys, and navy blue pants. Malcolm Clippers decked out in the all-blue uniforms with the white helmets and the M on each side of the noggin. We are underway as the kickoff is through the air. It takes a bounce at the 20-yard line and fielded by the return man. This is number 3, Charles Caldwell, who will slip a tackle and has off to the races. Caldwell across the 50, and he will go all the way. Caldwell inside the 10, and he scores. Touchdown, Lincoln Lutheran. They get the scoring started early. Strike up the band, Jay Foreman. It's 6-0 Warriors.
Yeah, it was a big play there, and it is almost a little bit of a mishap. It kind of reminded me of the Northwestern running back against Nebraska. It's like you had him, thought you had dead to rights. He almost was going to go to his right, reversed his field, beat one guy, cut back, and as a really good returner, you got to beat the kicker. So if you're Coach Sean Wheating trying to right the wrong of last week, you lost 20-7 last week, and it was actually 20-0, and you scored late, and you think that you want to get your offense out there because that's generally the strength of your team. There's nothing like scoring 7 points off the bat there. Lincoln Lutheran up 7-0 after that extra point.
We'll go ahead and keep it right here. 11:44 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Lincoln Lutheran after an 82-yard touchdown kickoff return by Charles Caldwell, the 5'11 junior. He kind of got lost in the scrum for a moment. I looked down, looked back up, and he was off to the races, reversing field across the midfield logo. With 11:44 to go, though, it is 7-0 Lincoln Lutheran. And Jay, on a night where it's 40 degrees, 40 degrees at kickoff here at Malcolm High School, and the ball, as you know, right, might get a little slippery in colder weather. We've been kind of blessed, rather or not, with some warmer temperatures in the early stages of October. Offense, not necessarily at a premium, but you don't know how your guys will react. If you're Coach Wheating on that Lincoln Lutheran sideline, you're welcome. A kickoff.
If you want to kind of get all that bad feeling of that loss last week out of your system, a big kickoff return to start the game. You talking about momentum. You all always thought you were going to start that way with your offense on the field, but more importantly, your special teams give you 7 points. You feel like, okay, now we're really playing with house money here, and so it's going to be interesting to see how Malcolm responds. Did it go right back to the ground and pound and stay patient? You got 4 quarters left. And then also what adjustments does Malcolm do special teams wise? Because it's not just a slick ball, Nick. You saw a couple slips as far as going in for the tackles as well. So the footing is a key, and especially on a little bit of a damp field out here in Malcolm.
Max Knopp to kick for Lincoln Lutheran, Jake Walters and Nolan Duzick back deep for the Clippers, working left to right. It's a short kick. They're not going to let either one of those guys field it here. A little bit of a bobble on the kickoff catch, and diving on it is the upback. Just bounced off the chest plate. But so far, I should say this early in the game, just, as we said, 16 seconds into it, Lincoln Lutheran, a lot of momentum.
Look, give credit to Sean Wheating, Coach Sean Wheating and staff. They went back to the drawing board and they thought about how can we change the flow of the game. What big special teams play, back it up with another special teams adjustment. We're not going to kick it deep to you because the last time they played, Malcolm did a really good job on special teams returning it. Kick it to an up back. Also, the footing there had to jump on the ball and not return it.
So here we are, 1st and 10 for the Malcolm offense as the quarterback Little, completing 56% of his passes on the year, lines up in the shotgun formation. 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. They send a man in motion. They'll hand it off. Going to the right now, reversing direction is the ball carrier. That is Brixton Meyer, the ball carrier. 1st and 10. Make it 2nd down and 9 now after the short gain on 1st.
One of the things that, we saw this actually in basketball, Nick, where the Lincoln Northeast Rockets had beat Southeast 2 times in the regular season. It's hard to beat them 3. It's even harder to beat a football team back-to-back weeks. And so you're seeing Lincoln Lutheran, little adjustments to their run defense. Really good job there by Coolman, not only taking on 2 blocks, but making the tackle for a minimal gain.
2nd down and 9 from the 28-yard line, of the Clippers. 2nd down and 9 is under center. It's Little. He takes the snap, turns, hands it off. Brixton Meyer with the 2nd carry of the game, just kind of bulldozes his way into the traffic. Might have gotten to the 30-yard line, but nice job up front by that Lincoln Lutheran defense. Short gain on the play. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7. This is a situation, if you're Malcolm, you want to stay away from. You allowed a lot of momentum on that kickoff return, and you're in danger of a 3-and-out.
Yeah, and you look at the sidelines of Lincoln Lutheran, they are definitely, everybody's invested. Again, that's Coleman, again, plugging up the middle. The two-way player is 6'4", 6'5", about 225 pounds, doing a really good job there of stuff in the middle, because you saw Malcolm tried to go back to their regular conventional run game.
Yeah.
No go. It's going to be interesting to see what type of passing attack they come with that usually is set up by the running game that's been stymied by this Lincoln Lutheran defense.
A little over 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Lincoln Lutheran after a kickoff return for a touchdown to start this one. Toss out right side. Brixenmeyer cuts up field. Gets a nice gain on 3rd down, but because they were so far from the chains, a short gain of about 4 yards will not be enough. It'll leave it for about a 4th and 3 coming up, and it looks like Malcolm's going to punt this one away.
Yeah, Malcolm probably didn't like that first series. 1st and 2nd down, there was probably losses for them, and so it put them way behind the chains. Good job there by Lincoln Lutheran's defense and defensive line of coming out of the stack on a toss sweep to the short side and stopping it for minimal gain.
4th down and 4 officially. Ball is marked at the 34-yard line. Charles Caldwell, who has already made his mark on today's game with that opening kickoff return for a touchdown, back deep to field this Gavin Little punt. It's running him to his right. He's going to let this one bounce, and it takes a very friendly Clipper bounce inside the 30-yard line of Lincoln Lutheran and down at the 26-yard line, and that is where we will see the Lincoln Lutheran offense for the first time here this evening. 9:27 to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Lincoln Lutheran.
This game could not start any better for Sean Weeding and company or for Lincoln Lutheran, right? You get a big special teams play, kickoff return for touchdown to get the party started. You double down on it with a squib kick, get off the field with an easy 3-and-out. Now you have the ball back, which would seem like you would got the ball back, have the ball still in your first possession. You're getting 2 quick possessions, all the momentum, and you've also stood up to this running attack defensively by Malcolm.
It's our first look at Henry Prokop. The senior quarterback comes out in the shotgun. He motions his running back out to the left side, out of the backfield. Now he's lined up one-on-one. It's going to be a quarterback keeper as a power off to the left side. Prokop's got some running room, switches the ball from the right hand to the left side of his body as he gets pushed out of bounds by the defender, but not until he gets past the 35-yard line, or close to it, I should say. They're going to mark him out at the 34.
A little sneaky wrinkle there, a little or a little bit of a no-back look, quarterback power led by Coleman up through the hole. It was really good blocking by the offensive line that Coleman had a hard time finding somebody to block. That's a little bit Oregon Duck-esque. You like that. 8 yards on the first down. Lincoln Lutheran is on the attack.
Well, and watch, Trenton Erst was the guy that they motioned out of the backfield. He's their leading wide receiver. See if they try to set that up for later in today's game. Prokop going to take a shot in one-on-one coverage. Has his guy beat, and it's overthrown as that was intended for Charles Caldwell, but it was out of reach of the man who's already scored a touchdown tonight. Going to bring up 3rd down and short.
You see the mindset of Sean Weeding and this Lincoln Lutheran football team. They're coming in. They're going to leave no stone unturned. They're going to be extremely aggressive from the beginning of the game into the end. Little double move, had him beat. Really good pass there, actually, into a little bit of a slight win. That takes a pretty good arm there to overthrow that receiver there. So we'll see. But again, you can take that chance on 2nd down, right, Nick? Because it's 3rd and more than manageable.
Staying ahead of schedule are the Warriors. 3rd down and 3 from their own 34-yard line here in the first quarter. Just over 9 minutes to go in the period. They turn, hand it off, 3rd down and short. It's going to be a 1st down and more for the ball carrier. A nice carry on 3rd down as a litany of blue jerseys come and swarm him near the 45-yard line. But once again, you have Zeke Trombley, the ball carrier, just a bowling ball of a running back there. The shortest guy on the field, but ran the hardest on that one.
Whatever Coach Sean Weeding has figured out in the 3 or 4 days since the last time that he played Malcolm is definitely working. The way that they're able to run the ball untouched to the 2nd level paid off right there. Really, really good run there. Really good job there by the offensive line. Open up a huge hole. 3rd and 3, and you get 9 yards. That's something that every offensive coach likes from his offensive line.
1st and 10 from the 45 of Lincoln Lutheran. They are leading 7-0. Play action, little boot out to the right side. Pass caught. Here is Trenton Ernst, the leading receiver for the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors. Gets hit well, but not until he gets a 7-yard gain past midfield, and the Warriors are in Clipper territory. 2nd down and short coming up with 8.5 to play in the first.
This offense is in rhythm. Prokop did a really good job with ball handling, a little bit of a half waggle, really good ball fake. Got it to his receiver where he was able to make one guy miss, have the second guy tackle him if the second guy did miss the tackle. It's another 6 points. Sean Wheating is doing a really good job of making Malcolm tackle in space, but then also spreading them out and attacking each third of the field in this drive here.
The 45-yard line of Malcolm's the line to gain. It's 2nd down and 2 from the 47. They turn, fake the handoff. Prokop looking to take a shot. He has his guy across the middle, and it is hauled in. Number 3, there he is again. Charles Caldwell is able to go up, snag it out of the air of number 24, Miles McGill, who was in coverage, and it's a first down for the Warriors at the 21-yard line.
They think Caldwell has a advantage athletically over McGill. Maybe they saw that in last week in the game. But again, this aggressive play call, it's a take a shot area. You get the first down, you go right back to it. They're not throwing from first down. They're trying to throw for touchdowns. Really good offensive series here so far from Lincoln Lutheran. 1st and 10 for the Lincoln Lutheran offense. Its ball is on the 21-yard line, 7.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. The Warriors already have a touchdown advantage here in the shotgun. They turn, hand it off here. Once again, Zeke Trombley just churning those legs upfield across the 20-yard line, inside it at the 19. Maybe they'll give him the 18-yard line. Gavin Little was in on the stop for the Malcolm Clippers. It's a gain of 3 officially, 2nd down and 7. Yeah, but when you look at it, if I'm Sean Wheating, I like it. I think we just maybe needed to block 1 or 2 guys a little bit better, but I think it's hat on hat, and they feel like they're winning the offensive line of scrimmage here. And so if I'm a Lincoln Lutheran, I feel like this is 4-down territory. You're on the road. We're going to try to put the dagger in the heart early in this playoff game.
2nd down and 7 from the 19-yard line. In the pistol, there's also a tight end lined up now. They'll motion Ernst out to the right side. Empty shotgun set. It's going to be a quarterback keeper as he just tries to follow his blocks, does Prokop, and he stopped after a short gain. Nice job by the Malcolm Clippers. It's almost like they kind of had an idea that one was coming as they motioned Ernst out. It's going to be 3rd down and medium.
Well, they got beat with that out to the left side. Now they come back to the right side. But what they did is they did a really good job of attacking Coleman before he could get his momentum forward to be the lead blocker. Now they're in 3rd. Now the advantage is to Malcolm. They're thinking if it's 4-down territory, we need a big stop right here to put Lincoln Lutheran behind the chains.
Halfway through this first quarter of play, it is 7-0 Lincoln Lutheran. 3rd down and 6 officially from the 17-yard line of the Clippers. And Lincoln Lutheran has had all the momentum. They returned an opening kickoff for a touchdown from 82 yards out. Then they forced a 3-and-out from the Malcolm Clippers. And before the snap on 3rd down and 6, we're going to have a timeout charged to Sean Wheating and the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors. Let's step aside for 30 seconds, come back. 5 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the opening quarter. It's 7-0 Warriors here on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Nick Standard, Jay Foreman here out of the Lincoln Lutheran timeout. 5:50 to go in the first quarter. It's 3rd down and 6 from the Malcolm 17-yard line for the Lincoln Lutheran offense. Shotgun set, lined up to his left is Zeke Trombley. High snap, quarterback keeper as he cuts his way up midfield. It's going to be stopped after a short gain of 2 on the play, shy of the 15-yard line. Maybe only got a gain of 1 on that play. It's going to be 4th down and 5, and it looks like Coach Wheating's going to bring on the field goal kicking unit. And it will be a try for number 22, Kamali Kawa, as 4th down and 5 from the 16. That'll make it about a 32-yard field goal here for the Warriors from the right hash.
You know, it was a really good job there by Malcolm. Look, you were bend and not break, but they were able to force him into a little bit of a longer field goal in this type of environment, Nick. A little bit of a wind, not such good footing, but really good job. Listen, special teams, right? Whether it's Mike Eckler or Sean Wheating, it's paying off this year in Nebraska football.
The 33-yard field goal is good by Kawa, and that makes it a 10-0 Lincoln Lutheran lead. 5:10 to go in the first quarter of play. Malcolm, not a reason to panic by any means here.
There's a lot of time
they go 3-and-out on their first drive. Probably establish a running game to some degree with Brixenmeyer. He's going to be a massive part of this game if they have to come back from 10 points down, which they do in this situation. There's no reason to panic if you're on that Malcolm side.
Yeah, Malcolm doesn't have to change their colors and go to a chuck and duck type of offense. There's plenty of time left to get the running game going and just get back on schedule. And, you know, if I'm really talking to the offensive team if I'm the Malcolm head coach, I'm going to listen, we're just down 3-0 now. In reality, you're down 10, but we got to get a score here. We got to get an effective drive. We got to get this interior defensive line of Lincoln Lutheran moving side to side. If you're going to try to run at Big Coleman and big number 62 in there, you're going to have a rough night at the offense. And so more importantly, you might have to do what Sean Weeding did, is keep you off balance, then come back to that power running game and see if it opens up a little bit later.
First quarter been controlled by the Warriors. We'll see if the Malcolm Clippers, can sustain a drive of their own. It was a really methodical and strategic drive there for the Warriors offense. Ran it on first down early in the drive, and then was able to kind of do some easy play action that takes some shots downfield and still leave them in a third and manageable, as this kick is going to go into the end zone for a touchback off the foot of the Warriors. And so that is going to bring it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the quarterback in Gavin Little for the Malcolm Clippers.
One of the things Coach Weeding is doing, obviously special teams, even that was essentially like a hooded 6-iron or 4-iron squib kick to see if they can get you to mishandle the original catch on the kickoff return. What it's doing, Nick, it's more mental warfare.
Yeah,
just making you feel uncomfortable. Squib kick, right to the after you score a touchdown, a hooded 6-iron kick. Now you're really getting them off schedule. Let's see if the defense can hold serve here and get the ball back to Lincoln Lutheran.
1st and 10 from the 20. Under center, it's Little. Bricks and Meyer in the backfield. They turn, hand it off. Meyer has a little bit of a hole on the left side. Tried to escape a shoestring tackle, but a nice job by the Lincoln Lutheran defenders, able to wrap him up. There is a penalty marker on the play as well.
Right when Malcolm looks like they are able to bust off a big run or get one, over 4 or 5 yards, you saw a yellow flag come in there, so that's most likely holding. But this Lincoln Lutheran defense and defensive line is playing with excellent effort. They're getting off blocks, even if they're originally blocked, and chasing them down. I think it's it was obviously a big emphasis this week is to not let Malcolm win on 1st and 2nd down. Now they're behind the chains. Now you have to look at Malcolm's sidelines. Okay, can we do something else besides go right back to our basic runs? Because we haven't been successful enough to lean on it like we had before. Can we get our intermediate or long passing game going against this big physical defensive line of Lincoln Lutheran? They are running essentially, Nick, the old 6'2" stack monster defense. They are not letting you run it in the middle or on the outside.
Pressure from the backside on 2nd down, and he's tackled in the end zone. It's a fumble on the play. Are they going to call it a safety or a touchdown? It's a touchdown. Lincoln Lutheran taking control of the game just 7 minutes into it. And they lead at 16-0 as Gavin Little was sacked from behind in the end zone. The penalty on 1st down made it 1st and 20 at the 10-yard line. Little on the play action had pressure from his backside. He ran to his right, was tackled from behind. The ball was stripped free, and it was recovered in the end zone for a Lincoln Lutheran touchdown. And it's 16-0 Warriors with 4:50 to play in the first quarter.
Charles Caldwell is having the game of his life. First play of the game, touchdown on a kickoff return. There's a little bit of a cat blitz, corner blitz coming off the blind side. Ate up the difference between the quarterback. Did a really good job. Secured the sack. You go for the forced fumble, recovered by his teammates. Full momentum is over in Lincoln Lutheran's sideline. Even though there's plenty of time, now you're looking at how the game has been played. You might sense a little bit of a panic here for Malcolm. You are away with your 3 scores down, and you haven't showed any life offensively, and everything you've been doing, even when it's been positive, has been either a flag and then obviously a costly turnover right there.
Malcolm has played 6 plays on offense for a total of -6 yards. They got 4 yards on the first drive of the game, a drive where they went 3 and out, and just in 2 plays on their second drive, they went back 10 yards and then was tackled in the end zone. The ball was stripped free, and a touchdown was scored by the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors as it was recovered by the Warriors defense. And it's 17-0 with 4 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. Not how we expected this one to go. A rematch of last Friday where Malcolm won 20-7 over the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors. Here, just 7 minutes and 10 seconds into this one, Lincoln Lutheran, a special teams touchdown to start the game on an opening kickoff return for a touchdown by Charles Caldwell. Then it was a field goal by Kamali Kawa, and then now a strip sack for a touchdown in the end zone, makes it a 17-0 Lincoln Lutheran lead. Here on the return, Malcolm has a little bit of running room, and they'll stumble their way across the 20-yard line, still on their feet, but there's going to be a penalty marker thrown all the way back at the 18-yard line, and rather they're going to move the penalty marker to the 25-yard line, and I would imagine that this one's going to be coming back as well.
Yeah, I mean, the second time you had a positive play there, and Malcolm has obviously stymied themselves with another flag, another holding, and so they got to get some composure. I know they're a very young team, especially on the offensive and defensive line, so they have to get their senior leadership together. Obviously, it's going to be led by their quarterback, Little, and then obviously Meyer. They're going to have to get it going, and it's going to be a little bit of a hole to dig themselves out of, but they have plenty of time. But you can't keep saying that, Nick, right? You can't keep, we got plenty of time. It's almost like in baseball. We're down by 4 or 5 runs. We'll get it going here or there. Next thing you know, you got 2 outs at the bottom of the 9th, and you're looking at a loss. And so Malcolm has got to get it going rhythm-wise, right? And you got to go back to, if I was an offensive coach, go back to maybe my 6 best plays, 4 running plays or 3 running plays, 3 passing plays, 4 running plays, 2 passing plays, and start to work those together, because what you're seeing right now is Malcolm on the cusp of losing all their confidence.
Biggest thing here, it feels like Malcolm just has to sustain drives. They have yet to get a first down tonight, and that's step 1 here, Jay Foreman, is just try to get stay on the field for longer than 3 plays. Your defense also might need a little bit of a breather on that sideline. They turn, toss it on the reverse, working his way right side across the 20. A little bit of running room here for number 22. This is Nolan Duzick, and Nolan Duzick gets across the 30-yard line to the 35. It's a gain of 20 on first down, and as we just said it, time to take a breath, go back to your players and your playmakers, and that's what they did with Duzick.
And you know, sometimes, Nick, you need that one play to wake your team up. Sometimes as a young team, as you beat Lincoln Lutheran last week 20-7 on the same field at home, you think it's rinse and repeat. We just got to go out there and they're going to play the same way. Sean Wheating used that against them, but it looks a little bit of a sign of life there by this Malcolm football team. Big run, and also close to take a shot area as well.
They'll motion a tight end from right to left, and now they'll motion the receiver from right to left as well. They'll run that way. Here is number 21, Preston Kuchera. Kuchera spun around just behind the line of scrimmage and somehow is able to skirt forward for a gain of 2, maybe at best 2, I should say. It's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Kuchera did a really good job of keeping his feet turning. It looked like he was going to get tackled for a 2-yard loss there, and he was able to wiggle his way out of that would-be tackler and get maybe a 1-yard gain if we're looking here down to the field. One thing that's also, Nick, that we have to be aware of potentially for tomorrow night as well. As you start to look up at the lights, you're starting to see some more wind, a little bit more of elements coming in. Hopefully that works out for Nebraska tomorrow night, but it could work against Malcolm as you're potentially going to have to start throwing the ball. Are you throwing with the wind or against the wind? Obviously, this is their home field. They should know it better than anyone.
They are throwing into the wind here tonight, right now, going in this first quarter. Here, handoff, it's Bricks and Meyer. Meyer able to keep on pounding up the middle, and he gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Job by Bricks and Meyer. We're starting to see a little bit of rhythm and a little bit of comfort from this Malcolm offense.
Yeah, that's the Malcolm offense at its best, right? You run it up the middle, conventional run game. You know, Meyer does all the work, and then next thing you know, that his legs in the second effort leads to some more yards after contact. So now they're right back on schedule, about a 3rd and 3.5, 4 yards, maybe close to, in your opinion, 4-down territory early in the game. I'm not sure. Defense hasn't really stopped anybody, but potentially we'll see after this 3rd down.
17-0 Lincoln Lutheran still in the first quarter. Yeah, you heard that right. High snap, bobbled, gotten by Little. Little trying to get the first down on his own. He got right to the marker. They're going to mark him about a yard shy on that play. 4th down and 1 coming up from the 44-yard line. Oh, they might give him the 43 instead. Yeah. They don't have the yardage marks individually marked here at Malcolm.
Yeah,
they only have that per the 5. So it's a guess, but it's going to be 4th down and short, and Gavin Little stays on the field, but to punt for the Malcolm Clippers.
Quick decision there. I would have maybe milked the clock a little bit, thought it over. Feel pretty confident on his defense that you're able to bow up against this Lincoln Lutheran high-powered offense right now, and they still have all the momentum in their favor.
Punt into the wind. It's a low-line drive kick. It's going to be bounced inside the 30-yard line and down by Malcolm at the 29 by number 22. That is Nolan Duzick in coverage. 2:37 to play in the first quarter. Let's step aside 30 seconds. It's 17-0 Lincoln Lutheran Warriors over the Malcolm Clippers at Malcolm here on 93.7 The Ticket. Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Quick pass on first down here. Kuhlman on the reception, and he drags the Malcolm Clippers into enemy territory all the way across the 35-yard line. They faked a motion with Ernst from left to right. It was an easy play-action dump-off to Kuhlman on the near side. He ran up the near sideline that's occupied by those Lincoln Lutheran Warriors and was finally pushed out of bounds inside Clipper territory at the 27-yard line. It's a 44-yard gain on first down and make it 1st and 10 from the 27 for Lincoln Lutheran.
This big player bust for this Lincoln Lutheran offense. They are keeping you off schedule here by continually pushing the ball down the field. They're doing it at different areas of the field and obviously different rhythm in the offense. Kuhlman is a big, strong-looking tight end prospect. Big catch there by the senior.
Quick pass out, right side. Ernst has the completion. He gets across the line of scrimmage inside the 25, and he turns on the Jets near the 20-yard line. Going to be marked out of bounds just shy of the 20 at the 22. Gain of 5 on first down. Staying on schedule are the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors.
You went right back to a big pass play. Went right back to a conservative, efficient pass play where your quarterback can play pitch and catch with one of his favorite targets in Ernst. And we saw Ernst last year in the state basketball tournament. He's a really good athlete. Obviously, is bowling over to the football field and keeping Lincoln Lutheran on the attack. And they're sped up a little bit. Why, Nick? They have the wind at their back. And see how much that time they have left to try to get another score.
2:21 to go in the first quarter. 17-0 Lincoln Lutheran. Pistol formation. They turn, hand it off. Here is number 32, Zeke Trombley on the carry. And he just kind of lunges his way forward for a short gain up near the 20-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 2 on the play to make it 3rd down and 3. Lincoln Lutheran in full control of this one. Just 10 minutes of game time into it.
Yeah, if you're Lincoln Lutheran and Coach Sean Weeding, you feel like whatever you've called tonight has worked. And especially when you go to the conventional run game, Malcolm has not been able to stop you. So even if you get stopped on 3rd down, you're right back to the line of scrimmage and running any play in your run playbook that's been successful earlier in the game.
Minute 40 to go in the first quarter. 17-0 Lincoln Lutheran on top of Malcolm. Shotgun snap. They turn. Trombley on the carry again. Trying to get the first down. He needed 3, and it looks like he got 4 as Zeke Trombley just continues to put it on his back. And it's going to be 1st down and 10 at the 17-yard line for the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors.
Yeah, Lincoln Lutheran is just plotting their way down the field. It started off with a 44-yard pass to Kuhlman, and now they're just systematically just lining up and trying to punch Malcolm in the face. Now you got Trombley in the backfield. You got Prokop back there. You're going to work Ernst, and this is probably right when you're going to think about getting to Caldwell. You're at about the 15-yard line or the 20-yard line. This is a take-a-shot area for this offense, right? You're going to have them one-on-one out here down by the numbers.
I think they're having a conversation on the far side on whether or not he got the first down. They gave him a spot that was right at the line to gain, but the problem is now they already moved the chains, and so because of that,
change it back, or?
They have to take it back to the original spot. But since the individual yardage markers aren't on the field, they have to go back and change it. They're going to call an official's timeout for a measurement. And so we're still kind of paused on the first downs call. This is either going to be 4th down in inches or a fresh set of downs for Lincoln Lutheran on offense. They walk the chains out to the field on the right side of the field, just inside the numbers, closer to the Malcolm sideline. Malcolm occupies the sideline farthest from us on the opposite side of the field.
The only problem with this is that you give Sean Weeding and staff a little bit more time to dial up another play that keeps you off balance, and they got the first down anyways. But you give them more time to think about how they're going to systematically attack this defense of Malcolm that's been pretty stingy throughout the year. But right now, Lincoln Lutheran has found every hole possible in this Malcolm defense on the road, winner-take-all playoff game, revenge game after losing 20-17 or 20-7 last week. Lincoln Lutheran looks really good right now.
Under 90 seconds to play in the first quarter. A quick moving first quarter. They turn, fake the handoff. Rolling to his left is the quarterback Prokop, and the pass intended for Ernst is going to bounce off of his chest as he fell to the grass. Incomplete. 2nd down and 10 coming up.
That was a little bit of a half waggle. Good job there by the Malcolm outside defender of pulling the quarterback up, making it a little bit harder throw for Prokop to Ernst. And Ernst right there actually probably did himself a favor. You catch it. I think it might have been a 1-yard gain. So now they're right back to it. It'll be interesting to see if Lincoln Lutheran goes back to the running attack that on the first 2 carries of the game average almost 9.5 yards per carry. Trombo has been their plugger. But let's see what they go back to. Do you go back to the quarterback counter led by Kuhlman, or do you go back to Trombo that's been really, really effective inside the tackle?
17-0 your score. Quarterback keeper as they faked the handoff to Zeke Trombley, and now off to the right side, Prokop goes to the sideline. It's going to be a short gain of 4 on the play to bring up 3rd down and 6. 1:15 to play in the first quarter. Ball is going to be placed just inside the 15-yard line at the 14.
Yeah, right now you see Lincoln Lutheran really trying to get into their bag and see what they can do in order to keep getting the first down, maybe change the field at the end of the quarter. What do you do, Nick, in this down? If you're going 4-down territory, probably a little bit more conservative on this 3rd down. If you're aggressive on 3rd down, most likely you're going to kick it with the wind behind your back. You got a 17-point lead, and you have all the momentum that you need right now in this first quarter.
Trips out near side, shotgun set with Trombley to the left hip. They'll motion Ernst from left to right. Now he'll be isolated at the top, looking to pass Prokop on 3rd down into the end zone. Tipped away. Great defensive play and knock from number 22, Nolan Duzick, who was in coverage, and it's incomplete to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, Duzick and Caldwell have been mixing it up both in the pass game and the run game. Really good job by him of making a play on the ball. And what did I say? When you go for it aggressively on 3rd down, you're telling on yourself if you don't get it because you're going to kick the field goal. But you can do that, right, Nick? When you feel really good about your kicker, you feel really good about the game, you feel really, really good about what your defensive game plan, you don't lose momentum. You take a calculated risk. Really good job there by Duzick, but even better job by Lincoln Lutheran of systematically taking the ball down there in field goal range.
Lincoln Lutheran's already converted a 33-yard field goal. This one just a little bit shorter, but different result off to the right, like Jay sliced a 6-iron off to the right, and it's going to be no good. And so an empty possession for Lincoln Lutheran. That's the first time in the 11 minutes of game time that something has not gone the way of the Warriors.
Yeah, the refs had a really good – I thought it was a good all the way, but if I'm Malcolm, I'm taking that. Just a little bit of a glimmer of hope. We had a decent drive last time. The first time, actually, Lincoln Lutheran has shot themselves in the foot. Then you start to second-guess yourself. Should I went a little bit more conservative on 3rd down, threw it on 4th, or tried to get the 1st down because there is a little bit less than a minute left, or there's right at a minute left in this first quarter, and you don't want to lose the advantage of the wind behind your back.
17-0. Lincoln Lutheran up by 17 on the Malcolm Clippers on the road here in the final stages of the first quarter. Shotgun formation, 3 running backs lined up in the backfield. Now they'll all motion out, and it's an empty shotgun set for Gavin Little. The Malcolm quarterback takes the snap, looking, surveying, rolls to his right, chucks it downfield, has a receiver in triple coverage as number 11, Brixton Meyer, was the intended pass catcher on the play. It falls incomplete, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Really good job there with Prokop, obviously switching over from quarterback to a nickelback and covering Meyer on an out and up, and Meyer had him beat by a step, but Prokop did a really good job of making it a hard pitch and catch for Malcolm there on 1st down.
2nd down and 10 from the 20-yard line. Ball is placed at the 20 after the Lincoln Lutheran missed field goal from 36 yards away just a few moments ago. 17-0 Lincoln Lutheran, and they'll motion the fullback from right to left. Back to pass, it's Little. Little on 2nd down, rolling to his left, throws across his body, hauls it in on the receiving end, pushed out of bounds by the bigger linebacker, is completed to number 7, or excuse me,
number 4.
Number 4, thank you, Jake Walters on the receiving end of it, and it's going to be just a few yards shy of the 1st down.
Yeah, a little bit of a different defensive alignment here by Lincoln Lutheran, right? You have an offensive lineman playing middle linebacker. He looks like an old school Dick Buckets there. It was nature versus nurture, 59 against number 4. Even after a big gain there, he got ejected and blasted out of bounds.
How about that? 6'2", 240-pound Kaiser Hanneman in on the stop for the Warriors defense.
It's
Third down.
5'11", 155 Walters.
Third down and short. They'll turn, hand it off. Brixton Meyer gets the first down, and that is a good stop to the end, or rather, there's still 40 seconds to go. They did not. I've noticed here in the first quarter, Jay, the officials have not been great about continuing and starting the clock. They've whistled for it to stop, and there we go. Now they'll start the clock once again. 40 seconds and counting. 1st and 10 here from the 32-yard line. Malcolm, if you're thinking about passing on first down, I would suggest to probably wait till the end of the quarter because you're going into the wind here. But if you're going to run it with Brixton Meyer, might as well snap it. They snap it, and here they run it with Brixton Meyer. Meyer up the middle, dragging a couple of Lincoln Lutheran defenders across the 35-yard line and tackle down at the 37. And it's going to be a gain of 5 on first down to make it 2nd down and 5. And so a similar spot as we were last drive, Jay, where we said, I turned to you and I go, Jay, feels like Malcolm's slowly getting into a rhythm, getting a little more comfortable. We'll see if they can have a different result. There is an injury and an injured Lutheran Warrior on the field.
Yeah, if I'm Malcolm, this is how they like to play. They like to churn it out. First down, you get 5 or 6 yards. They attempted an explosive play on first down at the beginning of the series. They feel like they can tear down this Lincoln Lutheran defense if they just get a chance. And the chance was set up by Lincoln Lutheran missing the field goal on their last possession. So we'll see what Malcolm does, even if they have – I don't think Malcolm really switches whether they're throwing it into the wind or not. It's a controlled passing game that's set up by their big physical run game. But Lincoln Lutheran did a sneaky adjustment in this 4 or 5 days since the last game that they were able to practice. You got Heineman in the middle. That's 245 pounds, not your usual size in Class C2 middle linebacker. But you take Kuhlman, the big physical tight end / defensive end, now defensive tackle, put him in the middle. So you put in all your strength, all your power where Malcolm usually like to run. It's been paying off twofold for the Lincoln Lutheran, and also a good sign here that number 2 Ernst is getting up now. I'm sure hopefully he'll be able to walk that off.
Trenton Ernst, as Jay mentioned, the injured Lincoln Lutheran Warrior.
What's funny?
Nothing's funny, Jay. Don't you worry about it. How do you feel about the blackout?
I mean, it's just part of college football now.
There you go. That's all I needed. I was just curious. Just needed to buy some time as they help Ernst off the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously we would have never done it. But the way that they run the football program and the way they do things in college football and look, it's exciting for the kids, and the recruits, and they're all in on it. You got the black touchdown or black end zone, and it's gonna be a blackout. You're probably gonna be the only one wearing white tomorrow.
Well, I'm not a fan tomorrow, as we'll be up in the press box. That's the end of the first quarter. Your score, 17-0, Lincoln Lutheran out in front of the Malcolm Clippers here. It's been all Warriors through 12 minutes of game time. We'll step aside, come back in 60 seconds here to start the second quarter of play from Malcolm High School on 93.7 The Ticket.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. Start of the second quarter. Malcolm has the football. They hand it off on 2nd down and 5 from their own 37-yard line. Brixton Meyer, the ball carrier, as you might have heard behind us from the PA system. And is stopped after no gain on the play. 3rd down and 5 coming up for Malcolm offensively.
Lincoln Lutheran is not letting you establish his run game. The size that they have out there, 88, 53, 62, 74, 47. That is essentially 5'1", 5'2", old school Nebraska defense right there. We know, or they're thinking that Malcolm can't throw the ball against our defensive backs. we have to do a really good job against their interior run game, and they are winning that battle right now out here in Malcolm.
3rd down and 4 from the 37-yard line. Malcolm desperately needing to continue this drive as they look back to pass. As Little throws it to the right side, it's hauled in. Nice job by number 44, Isaiah Baeza.
Yeah.
Isaiah Baeza on the receiving end of that one, and it's a first down, a much-needed chain mover for the Malcolm offense.
Anytime they can complete a pass like that, get a first down, it'll loosen up this Lincoln Lutheran defense and obviously get some of that size a little bit tired out. The half roll there by Malcolm was a really good play because it makes the big guys run east to west versus north and south.
First down and 10 from the 46-yard line. It's Malcolm football, trailing 17-0 to Lincoln Lutheran. I formation, Brixenmeyer the back. He turns, they fake the handoff, looking. Now he'll reverse direction, throw back Brixenmeyer's way, who's wide open. He makes one guy miss. Inside the 30, inside the 20. Brixenmeyer inside the 10. Touchdown, Malcolm Clippers. With 10.5 to go in the second quarter, the Clippers finally make it on the scoreboard, and they trail 17-6.
Mama, there goes that man. Eventually Meyer was going to get going. A really good job there by Miller of a half roll, eluding two would-be pass rushers, getting it to his all-everything, running back in the flat. He made one guy miss. Big explosive play now. Now you're making Lincoln Lutheran have a little bit of doubt. You miss a field goal. You capitalize on it. Good job there by the Malcolm Clippers.
Duzick on to attempt the extra point here for the Malcolm Clippers. Snap down. Hold, its kick is up, and it doinks off the crossbar, but through the uprights it goes. It's good, 17-7. And, Jay, I think figuratively, you say it often. Literally, I think it might be here. The winds of change helped out the Malcolm Clippers.
Yeah,
there.
The winds of change have really helped out the Malcolm Clippers, and they have all the momentum. Not all the momentum, but they have some momentum back on their sideline, right? You get able to get a defensive stop and force them to miss a field goal. You cash in on it. And not too lengthy of a drive, right? You had a couple explosive plays by your, category of explosive plays, and you got able to lean on your run game. You got a really big explosive run play, backed up by explosive pass play, and 7 points. Now you're right back in the ball game. You tell yourself, look, we're only down by 10. And if I'm a coach over there, look, we've taken their best shot, and we might see this tomorrow, right? Where the visiting team comes in and throws the haymakers. You got to, recalibrate, come back, and get back in the fight. And so, good job there by Malcolm Clippers of showing a little bit of a get back and fight back there on their home turf.
The temperature has dropped in the 40 minutes since kickoff. Temperature has dropped 5 degrees. 10.5 minutes to go in the first half. 17-7 is your score. The Lincoln Lutheran Warriors still lead by double digits over the Clippers after the Clippers scored from 44 yards out. It was somewhat of a broken play as Little ran off to his left side, saw that two barreling Lincoln Lutheran defenders were heading his way. He reversed direction, looked around, and saw Brixenmeyer able to be bailing him out in the out of the backfield. He threw it his way, and Meyer did the rest with his legs. The kickoff from Malcolm is down the middle of the field, takes one bounce, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. And so Lincoln Lutheran will set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Yeah, Nick, one thing you'll see tonight, though, we've seen a couple players when they get out there in space, and that's on the outside thirds, right? It's hard to keep your footing as a defender to make an open field tackle. So when you think about Caldwell and his first touchdown, same thing happened. When you think about Meyer on his touchdown just on the last possession, made one guy miss out there in the flat. So look for maybe Weeding and company or the Malcolm Clippers to come back to a little bit of more of that outside attack to get an explosive play.
Zeke Trombley and Henry Prokop will occupy the backfield for the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors, running back and quarterback respectively there. Prokop in the shotgun with Trombley off to his right. Quick pass near side. It's caught by Caldwell. He makes one guy miss. He tiptoes up that near sideline and gets pushed out of bounds by a duo of Clipper defenders.
Yeah.
And on the stop was number 21, Preston Kuchera, as well as number 4, Jake Walters for the Clippers after a gain of 5.
Yeah, a gain of 5 there, which could have been either no gain or a tackle for loss or a catch for loss. Good job by Caldwell making guys miss. Really good job there by the Malcolm Clippers rallying to the ball and not giving up another explosive play.
It was somewhat of a low pass. Caldwell almost had to go down to a knee and haul that one in. They're fortunate that the knee did not touch the blade of grass that was beneath the feet of Caldwell on the near sideline just outside the numbers. Instead, it's 2nd down and 5 for Lincoln Lutheran offensively from the 25. Trombley in the backfield to the left hip of Prokop. quarterback keeper as Prokop just sprints up the middle of the field and
big
gets hit by the Clippers defenders, but Prokop was able to spin around, get across the 30-yard line, and I think they're going to give him the first down.
Yeah, really good physical run there by Prokop. Took a big hit there, I think, by a host of Malcolm Clippers defenders. Was able to get the first down before they knocked him back out of his forward momentum. So a good drive right here for Sean Weeding and his Lincoln Lutheran Warriors, right? Where you give up 7 points, you get right back on time, on schedule, keep them off balance, a little bit of run, a little bit of conservative pass game. The Lincoln Lutheran is here to play tonight.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Lincoln Lutheran with 10 minutes to go until half, lead at 17-7. They're trying to answer the first Malcolm Clipper touchdown of the day. Prokop makes a couple of guys miss, and it looked like it was maybe a botched play.
Yeah.
Prokop thought he might have needed to hand that one off to Trombley. Trombley kind of hesitated after he passed on by and said, oh, no, maybe I was supposed to grab that football. Instead, it's going to be a loss of 1.
Yeah, heads-up play there by Prokop, and Trombley had a little bit of miscommunication. But when you have a senior leader like that and a really good football player, he makes a heads-up play, makes something out of nothing. If I'm the Malcolm Clippers, I like that. First tackle for loss in the beginning of the second quarter. We got them behind the chains. Now they have to look for maybe a little bit of a half roll, throw to the tight end, because Ernst is still on the men there getting his foot looked at.
2nd down and 11 from the 30-yard line as we are under 9 minutes to go until half. It's 17-7. Trombley with the carry. He lowers his shoulder, up the gut he goes, and he'll get tackled around the 35-yard line, gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors offense. Technically behind schedule, especially in according and comparing to what they've been all night so far.
Yeah, they've been way ahead of schedule all night, and this is the first time they've been behind the chains going into a 3rd down on their side of the 50. More importantly, Nick, if you're Malcolm, you're thinking, okay, we can get a stop here. We're thinking about possessions before halftime because we get the ball coming out of the half. And so this is a big pivotal play here, big pivotal 3rd down on the outcome of the game.
3rd down and 6 from the 35-yard line. Got to get to the 41. Shotgun set. Prokop in the shotgun. To his left hip is Zeke Trombley. 2 wideouts near side. One is in the slot, one at the top of the screen, or top of the field, I should say. And before this snap on 3rd down, we have a timeout to Coach Weeding and the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors. It's their 2nd timeout of the first half. And Jay, I'll say this, and I don't want to discredit anything that Lincoln Lutheran's done, but you look at how they've generated their 17 points. And one of the touchdowns was obviously on the kickoff return, on the opening kickoff for a touchdown. The second touchdown that they had was on a strip sack that they recovered in the end zone for a touchdown as well.
Right.
And then the one drive where they got the field goal, their offensive possession stalled.
Yeah.
The offense hasn't necessarily done a whole lot effectively.
Right.
They've been able to get a couple of first downs and get into field goal range, but both times they've stalled and they're 1 for 2 kicking the field goal.
Yeah, right now that's where you're Malcolm, the defensive coaches and the coaching staff over there, is really telling the defense we're playing good football. And they haven't really given up any points besides 3, and that was set up by the lack of efficiency on their offense. And so right now you just think like, look, we're going to hold them here to under 6 yards, get the ball back, and then rest up on defense.
3rd down and 6, 8 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the second quarter. Snap back, looking to pass. Prokop, he was able to complete it on the far sideline, and I think they're going to mark him short.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately on the curl wrap pattern. Just didn't know where the sticks was, and it's going to be 4th and less than a half a yard. Under center, Prokop. As they get set, Prokop lowers his shoulder, and Malcolm's trying to say that they held him. The near sideline official comes running in at the 41-yard line, which is exactly where the line to gain is. And this is going to be one of those where I think if you're Lincoln Lutheran or Malcolm, you'd rather have the chip in the ball to tell you exactly where he got to, because this is just a guesstimation from each sideline official. Is it a first down or is it a turnover on downs? We're going to have this conversation. Look at it. They're eyeballing it from the middle of the field.
I like it, though.
And
you know what?
I would imagine they're going to call for a measurement. They will. That's probably the right call. Jay, I saw him, and he's an older gentleman, the referee. He kind of gets down on his lower to his knees, crouches down, looks to the sideline, and goes, I can't eyeball this one. We need to call a measurement.
Nick, man,
what do you think it is?
Listen, he's a little bit old. Seasoned is what he is. And
I said
also,
an older gentleman.
I liked it that he called in for some help.
For some
I'm going to ask you, do you like the quick called. That's the timeout that he said. No matter what, we're going for it. Do you like the premeditated call?
It doesn't matter now because it's a turnover on downs.
But would you have done that on
Yes.
Madden 26?
Yes, you're up by 10 points.
Yeah.
You not smell
That's why
blood in the
you
water.
know what? I'm going to tell you what when I asked Tiger Woods about his wedge.
Okay.
That's why you're up here and you're not down
There
there.
it is. I'm glad I didn't have to go into that pile either.
Yeah.
First and 10. Malcolm takes over, and Jay, I'm going to tell you again, the wins, the momentum, you can slowly starting to feel.
I can feel the wind.
It's
on my toes.
It's leveling out though.
Yeah.
It's leveling out. It's back to a competitive ball
But
game.
it starts to becoming more brisk, going from right to left.
That is
by
true.
the Malcolm Clippers, and they are clipping the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors by their wings so far.
Here we go in the shotgun. Little back, but fumble on the snap, and he's just going to have to bend over and grab this one, take it with a knee, and it's a loss of 7 yards on the play, back to the 47-yard line.
That is not what you want with Malcolm Clippers after you essentially get a free or a turnover there, a turnover downs in plus territory. But if I'm Malcolm, I'm already aggressive now. I'm going 4 down territory. You don't like to lose 6 yards there on a mishap on the snap, but not only the change in the wind, there's some mist in the area as you see it right, or mist in the air right there. So ball handling by the quarterback, center quarterback exchange has to be utmost importance.
2nd and 17, they turn, hand it off Brixton Meyer with a hole as he gets basically the yards that they lost on that fumbled snap back, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 10. So using your theory of 4 down territory, if you're the Malcolm sideline, you're thrilled with that play. You have 2 plays to essentially get 10 yards.
Yeah, and if you by chance, if you want to punt it, you have timeouts left, right? Sean Wheating has burned 2 of his timeouts. So if you do want to punt it, you feel like you can cough and kick it and keep them behind the chains because your defense over the first quarter and a half has played really good for Malcolm Clippers.
The wind is at your back if you're the Malcolm offense. Don't look at me like that. 3rd down and 10, rolling to the left. Gavin Little, he has a little bit of room, and then it gets closed up quickly.
You're punting it now, right? You're punting it now because you would have liked to see. And maybe that was a premeditated punt that you think, okay, chances of us getting 10 yards in our playbook the way we've been playing, most likely not. You're going to punt it, try to keep them behind the chains and pinned down in their own territory. But I can tell you this right now, before he punts, I can tell you, if Tristan, you need to clip that. I want a copy. I want a copy. Tristan, I will text you afterwards. I want a copy of that with about 6 minutes left, 6 minutes and some change left. Nick Sainert with the quote of the year.
That not even close. I remember a certain post-game show a couple of weeks ago. 5:51 to go in the second quarter, and it's a short punt by Malcolm.
Yeah.
It goes out of bounds just inside the 30-yard line. So you're talking about just a 13-yard punt.
Yeah. And so when you think about it, Nick, your plan isn't fooled or foiled or fooled it right there. But what you were thinking about doing, what you were possibly trying to get out of it, definitely worked against you, right? You know, 3rd down, run off the left side, most likely not going to get you anything more than a couple yards, and you got 0. Now you try to punt it, pin them down, a 13-yard punt. In some ways, you would have probably tried to do the old offensive punt and throw an interception and see if you can get a pass interference, or if they intercept it, they get it deep in their territory.
Ready to go. Lincoln Lutheran on offense. 5:51 until the break. They lead at 17-7. The turnover on downs that they committed just a few minutes ago does not come back to hurt them as they force a 3 and out. Now on 1st down, they give it to Trombley, and Trombley goes nowhere. May have gotten a loss of 1 on the play. Good tackle made on the play by number 44 for the Malcolm Clippers. That's Isaiah Bayaza on the stop for the Clippers.
Yeah, Isaiah Bayaza is having a really good game offensively and defensively, but more importantly, that Malcolm Clippers front 4-5 or however they're revolving 4-4 defense has done a really good job after the first couple of explosive plays Lincoln Lutheran was able to manufacture. Now, this is where you're back on schedule. If you're Malcolm, you got to get off the field in the next 2 downs, get the ball back, and then maybe speed up your high-powered run game and potentially conservative pass game.
2nd down and 11 from the 27-yard line. Shotgun snap, back to pass. It's Prokop. 3-step drop, looking downfield, and a receiver. It tipped up in the air, and it's hauled in. There were 2 Clippers that collided. They were both trying to make the interception, but the one who came down with the reception was number 3, Charles Caldwell, the offensive player. It should be going the other way, but it was that Auburn game a couple of years ago where it was tipped up Two Auburn players messed it up. They collided, and the South Carolina Gamecocks ended up winning the game. No touchdown on this play, but it was a big reception for a first down.
Caldwell is having the game of his life. He got the party started with a kickoff return. He caught another big explosive play after that. And then now got a big explosive play again off the tip by two Malcolm defenders running into each other. So now if I'm Malcolm, we got to get back on schedule. We don't have the momentum. Now we're thinking holding him out of field goal range just based on a lack of communication on our back end.
Quarterback keeper here is Prokop, tries to run right side. Great job sealing the edge. That was number 22, Nolan Duzick, who was able to seal the edge, as well as number 28. That was Cody Barton, on the stop.
Really good job there by Barton of attacking Prokop inside out, not going for any of the fakes, and making an open field physical tackle for no gain after a momentum shifting play there. Really good job there by Malcolm Clipper defense.
2nd down and 10 after no gain on first down. 3:52 to play in the second quarter. It's 17-7. Lincoln Lutheran with the 10-point advantage and the football. Two wideouts far side, one to the near side, the shallow side of the field. They pass it out wide side. It's hauled in by Caldwell. He gets it across the 35-yard line, and he's thrown out of bounds by a couple of Malcolm Clipper defenders, just a few yards shy of that line to gain with 3:37 to play in the second quarter.
Really good job there by Caldwell getting them back on schedule ahead of the chains, but even better job by Ernst there, his partner in crime, number 2, back in the game. Nick with a big block out there in the perimeter, springing his partner in crime for a 7-8 yard gain. Now, if I'm Lincoln Lutheran, this is once again 4-down territory because you don't get the ball at the beginning of the second half.
3:37 to go in the second quarter. It's 3rd down and 3 officially. They have it at the 34-yard line. They got to get to the 30. It's 3.5 yards officially to gain. Two wideouts near side. The tight end lined up just off the hip of the right tackle, as well as Trombley occupies the backfield to the left side of the quarterback, Prokop. Prokop keeps it himself on that left side, and he gets stood up and driven backwards for a loss of yards on the play. It'll bring up 4th down and medium, and Prokop looks to be slow getting up on the far side of the field by the numbers.
Yeah, Sean Wheating doesn't like that. It potentially have to bring in your backup quarterback, number 11. More importantly, it's a decision time here for Lincoln Lutheran. Yeah, Sean Wheating is running out there to check on his everything quarterback. But he has a decision to make there offensively. Prokop bounces up there and is going to make his way back to the sideline with 3 minutes and 20-some seconds left, and you're up by 10 just off of a tackle for loss, 4th and about 5 or 6 there, Nick? Decision time. You can't go blind. Go for it. Your quarterback is hurt. It'd be really interesting if he's going to bring the punt team out there, or is he going to keep the ball on the offensive side and try to pick up a first down?
Since there was a stoppage in play, the backup quarterback, A.J. Iverson, will have to come in for at least this 4th down play.
He's 6'5" senior, 170 pounds.
With 3 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the second quarter, we will see if
Do you like this call?
They're going to go for it. They're going to keep the offense on the field. They're going into the wind. 4th down and 5. 3:03 to play until the first half.
Well, the run game is obsolete with a 6'5" quarterback.
Shotgun snap, low snap, corralled, pass out left side. It's incomplete, tipped away, and Malcolm takes over on downs at their own 36-yard line.
Do you like that call?
It doesn't matter if I like that call.
Yeah, it is. You're the Madden extraordinaire.
Certainly not.
Here's where I would probably think I would like to think.
The fact that you're asking me tells me that you didn't like that call.
I did not. I would rely with my all-star quarterback hurt, right? And we're behind the chains, fresh off of a tackle for loss against us. I'm going to punt it even into the wind with a better chance of Coffin kicking it there. Now they have the ball right where we had a mishap, and now they're on the attack, and our defense has been leaking oil here late in the second quarter.
1st and 10 for Malcolm from their own 36-yard line. Jet toss, and it's a fumble on the pass because that goes as a pass, but it should be incomplete since it was a jet toss in front of him. It hit the grass, and it's incomplete.
Here we got, Nick, I wanted to say right now, it is chilly outside. I have a great space heater over here, so I'm feeling really good. But I'm going to keep this window open because I want you to feel the chill. But you're starting to see the mishaps from Malcolm in the ball handling, high snaps, fumbled exchanges. Now they're coming out with a little bit of funky formation here. It almost looks like they have too many men on the field here, Nick.
So 4 wideouts now on the near side. They haul it in. Duzick, he's trying to make a guy miss. unable to do so. A great job holding on for dear life. Charles Caldwell in the secondary, just inside the numbers. He was able to hold on for everything he had, and Duzick was finally brought down as the cavalry and the reserves from Lincoln Lutheran came in to help Caldwell. It's 3rd down and 8.
Charles Caldwell is out here looking like Travis Hunter. He's playing both sides of the ball, and he's making plays every time it comes his way, both on offense and defense. When he gets an opportunity, and he made a touchdown-saving tackle there on Duzick. When they had 4 wide receivers to the short side of the field, had all the blockers, but one more important thing is Caldwell was not going to be denied. Big play there by the senior.
3 wideouts, far side, 2 to the near side, empty shotgun set for Little. Little taking the snap, looking, and he wanted to throw it off his back foot, but quickly was collapsed in the backfield. Guess who? Number 88 for Lincoln Lutheran. That is Grant Coleman, the 6'6 senior, 235 pounds. From the backside, was able to take Little down, and it's going to be a punt for the Malcolm Clippers with just over 90 seconds to go until half.
We've seen a little bit of mishap here. Sean Weeding went for it on 4th down. It obviously didn't work against them. Now you have Malcolm here, and more than 3rd and management with the deep drop back there, Nick. That's not in their wheelhouse. That's not in their bag. Coleman with a really quick spin move, 6'6", 235, 45-pound tight end, defensive tackle prospect. Big sack there to get the momentum back to Lincoln Lutheran. Lincoln Lutheran, I'm going to tell you this right now, they play with a little bit of nastiness, and obviously same thing with Malcolm. They are in a full-fledged dogfight on the line of scrimmage, and they're doing a good job of holding up against this big, physical, young Malcolm Clipper offensive line.
17-7 is your score. 1:40 to go in the second quarter. Let's step aside and pause 10 seconds for station identification here on 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Again, Nick Sainer alongside Jay Foreman here as we are getting ready for a Malcolm punt. There was a stoppage on the field because Lincoln Lutheran called a timeout just to force Malcolm to punt this ball away. Game management skills by Coach Weeding on that Lincoln Lutheran sideline. Charles Caldwell will be the man deep for the Warriors to return. Gavin Little, the quarterback, who was a little slow to get up, looks a little worn down here in this one, just a little under 2 quarters into it. He's on to punt this one. It's a booming punt. Fair catch signaled for and hauled in at the 30-yard line. And I believe they are going to mark it down at the 29-yard line. Caldwell wanted a kick-catch interference. He signaled for a fair catch.
But he kind of looked like he was going to return it, right?
He looked like he was going to return it. And then the coverage guy also kind of bounced off of him.
Yeah.
He did not fully wrap up and drive him to the ground. I'm okay with that no call there. And so with that, it's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 29-yard line for the Lincoln Lutheran offense with 1:30 to play in the second quarter.
Now, if it favors anybody, and even though Lincoln Lutheran's offense hasn't been able to put a legitimate drive together, it favors Lincoln Lutheran with Sean Weeding and his play calling ability. But Prokop is not coming back out as a quarterback, so he's maybe going to go a little bit more conservative going into halftime, trying to bleed the clock and readjust here in a little bit of intermission heading into the second half.
1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Iverson pump fakes downfield. It's Caldwell. He stepped out of bounds, and there's going to be a penalty flag on the play. Now we're going to figure out what this call is because Caldwell went out of bounds on his own back at the 50-yard line. The official threw his hat along the sideline. It was clear as day, but then there is going to be a pass interference call. Now I've never seen this. I don't know if stepping out of bounds negates the pass interference call.
It should negate it. Now
because it would essentially be illegal touching.
It's illegal touching, which would actually end up being a penalty against Lincoln Lutheran.
That's correct.
And by passing the ball, you almost give Malcolm a free timeout. So if I'm Malcolm's coach, I'm coming out past the numbers. I got to figure out what's going on.
You don't want to draw a penalty on your own. This is why you're up here. One of the reasons.
I just got to make sure you hear me and we can have a good comment.
It is going to be a pass interference against Malcolm. They're going to take away. They're going to take away the illegal touching. So they're going to say,
wow.
The official threw his hat. He just picked up his hat. The Lincoln Lutheran coach gave him his hat. Now, if you're on that Malcolm sideline, you can have a little frustration, in my opinion. Because now that was just 15 yards awarded to the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors on a pass interference call to where Charles Caldwell, I watched it the entire way before the pass was even thrown, that Caldwell went out of bounds on his own power.
Yeah.
And he came back into the field of play and tried to go grab that football in double coverage. And there was a pass interference there. But once again, Caldwell caught a little bit of a break. Maybe the officials believed that he went out of bounds because of the defensive player pushing him off of the field of play. Nonetheless, it's 1st and 10 from the 44. Iverson going to chuck it deep downfield, and it's hauled in inside the 10. Touchdown, Charles Caldwell. Lincoln Lutheran adds on another one, and that play becomes a lot more interesting just 5 seconds later as they score from 56 yards out and make it a 23-7 ball game.
Yeah, Charles Caldwell is continuing on his hot streak. I know in NBA 2K, he's green. He is in fuego right now. He's having the game of his life, aided by a missed call there on running or going out of bounds. Got the pass interference call, and Sean Wheating, like the aggressive play caller that he's been all first half, goes up top for the first 7 points manufactured by this Lincoln Lutheran offense.
How about A.J. Iverson, the backup quarterback in for Prokop, who was hurt? 2 plays this drive, he chucked both of them deep, and he was able to haul it in. Prokop does not look good. He jogged on the field because he's the hold, and he is limping off the field. But for right now, if you're Coach Wheating, you're telling your quarterback, hey, we're good. We have A.J. Iverson here who's answered the call and thrown a 56-yard touchdown pass to Charles Caldwell. 1 minute and 10 seconds to go in the second quarter. Your score, it's 24-7. Lincoln Lutheran on top of Malcolm, Jay.
Yeah, that's a big missed call there. And sometimes that happens. This is obviously a game of momentum and shifts, and the momentum was on Malcolm's side. They didn't take advantage of the turnover on downs previous series and put it back on Lincoln Lutheran's side. Lincoln Lutheran is aided by a call. And as the away team coming way out here once again, Sean Wheating has made it a point. Look, we are going to be aggressive from first play to the last. They have taken full control of this first half. A little bit of a lull, but I like it to being able to battle back. Yes, it's aided by a missed call. You got a pass interference call, and you're right at take a shot area. Okay, Iverson comes in, and you know what? It showed you how much confidence he had in the senior, 6'5", 170 pounds. He threw on 4th down. He's going to throw it again. Touchdown. Lincoln Lutheran back up on top.
24-7, your score. Lincoln Lutheran on top of the Malcolm Clippers here in the final stages of the second quarter. 1 minute, 10 seconds to play exact. Malcolm will field this kickoff here in just a moment. They'll also get it to start the third quarter of play. The kick is a short one heading towards the Lincoln Lutheran sideline, and it goes out of bounds. And this one will give the Malcolm Clippers decent field position near the 40-yard line. But here we are once again. It's 24-7, and as Malcolm thought, and it probably felt like in the stands as well, I know it did up here, that Malcolm was slowly starting to kind of take over this game and firmly get back into it. They've had a couple of their offensive drives stall. 2 of those offensive drives came off of turnover on downs where they were able to stop Lincoln Lutheran on 4th down and get the ball in advantageous field position. But empty drives on those 2 possessions. And now you look up at the scoreboard, you're almost half done with this playoff game, win or go home, and you're down by 17 with 1:10 to go.
Yeah, and you haven't been able to get your conventional run game going, and it's been a periodic efficiency in the pass game. And so you got to stick to your guns here. You have a little bit of a time to get something going before halftime, and you got to make some serious adjustments there coming out of half because you're going to have to score the ball quickly against this Lincoln Lutheran defense.
Play action. We're going to have a roughing the passer, rightfully so, as number 74 for Lincoln Lutheran, that is number 74, Hayden Marr, went shoulder and elbow into the top part of Gavin Little. As Gavin Little delivered that pass downfield, it ended up falling incomplete. But my eyes stayed on Gavin Little, the quarterback, because he was slow to get up. And the official at the start waited to see if the ball was thrown complete before throwing the penalty flag. And so there now he picks it up, and it's going to give a 15-yard penalty tasked to the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors on the roughing the passer. And so now it'll be an automatic first down for Malcolm.
Yeah, it's equivalent of an explosive play here, though, where you would like that flag to, come out a little bit earlier. Hopefully a little is okay. But if I'm Malcolm, I feel like, okay, we got a chance here, a little bit over a minute left. I think a minute and 10 seconds left. You have 2 timeouts, and so you have plenty of time and space to try to get 3 to 7 points on the board before you go into halftime.
24-7, Malcolm trails by 17, just moments ahead of halftime. They have not started the clock here, and now they finally do. As on the snap, a little bit of a fumble and discombobulation. Little has to just fall on the pigskin. It's a loss of 1. And so they got to get their ducks in a row here in the final stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's probably about the 4th or maybe the 5th, maybe even the 6th, quarterback exchange mishap there. Not all of them haven't been turnovers, but a lot of them have been stymieing the rhythm of the offense. And so that's the main thing that they got to, address at halftime. Ball handling, rhythm. Malcolm has been playing catch-up from the very beginning. Obviously started off with a big kickoff return, but offensively they have not been able to really get explosive plays in the run game. They've been way off in the pass game. They're out of their sorts identity-wise. Every pass play has been deep drop back, which they're not, obviously generally not into in their offensive game plan, and it hasn't worked out. So you got to really settle them down. You got to think it's probably 4 down territory, especially if you get one more first down. Because the time clock will run out in the first half. But more importantly, the coaches at Malcolm have got to settle down, the center and the quarterback, get a good exchange. Because, Nick, when you're running a little bit of a play action off of RPO action, you need better ball handling initially from the quarterback or from the center to the quarterback.
1:06 to go in the second quarter. It's 2nd down and 11, and we have a penalty flag thrown. And I would imagine that this is an illegal substitution against Malcolm. They're going to say that 12 was in the huddle, and Malcolm's sideline is beside themselves asking for an explanation. I don't think they're going to be given one, though.
Yeah, that's probably a little bit too far of a trek.
They haven't been given one. So they're going to move it back 5 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down and 16 now.
Yeah, Malcolm has not had anything go their way except for, obviously, the turnover and downs. But as far as penalty-wise and being a pretty efficient team, their youth is showing right now, and it's not working out well for them.
Little taking a shot downfield. It's hauled in. There he is. That is number 22, Duzick, inside the 10, tiptoeing the sideline. And he's out of bounds just inside the 10-yard line. Once again, 1st and 10 for the Malcolm Clippers as that pass was complete up that far sideline. Charlie Caldwell escorted him out of bounds. It's 1st and goal for the Clippers on the wheel pass completion.
Yeah, really good job there by Little and a really good catch there by Duzick. He caught it, high-pointed it so he couldn't get it knocked out of his hands by the defender. Made another one miss. 50-yard pass play. Now they can take their time and try to get a good, quick 7 points before halftime.
54 seconds until the break. Here is Brixton Meyer, inside the 5-yard line. They're going to mark him shy of the goal line, down at the 2.
Yeah, right at the goal line. Timeout called there, trying to get your best pass play or best play called, potentially a run play. But more importantly, settle them down. Say, listen, we don't need any procedure penalties. We got to get off the ball, create some space, and let our everything Brixton Myers punching into the end zone. So as much as when you're starting this drive, you're down by 17, you potentially could go back into halftime, down by 10, momentum on your side, refocus, re-energize because you get the ball coming out at halftime. I will tell you this. The Malcolm head coach is giving the ref the business. He's talking about he's pointing over here on the missed illegal touching call that led to a pass interference call, which is obviously followed by the touchdown. But more importantly, the 12-man in the huddle, he didn't think it was 12-man huddle when you're coming out of a timeout.
Yeah.
And it is probably to his credit, he didn't think it was a penalty because you're coming out of timeout. You have everybody there. You don't have to declare. Now, if you have 12 people in the huddle or you bring in somebody late and not in a timely fashion, it usually is a penalty.
It's 2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line. The Clippers desperately needing a score before the halftime break. They can essentially go 2 for 1 here if they can punch it in. They'll get the ball to start the third quarter here in a little while. High snap, corral, Dixon Meyer in the gut. He is going to be stopped shy of the goal line, and so third down and goal coming up. 37 seconds and counting here for the Malcolm Clippers offense. Third down and goal from the 1.
You saw that. Another high snap really messed up the rhythm there on the quarterback exchange with the running back.
Here's the snap on third down and goal. They hand it again to Meyer. He tries to lower his shoulder, and this time he's in. Third time's a charm for Brickson Meyer. It's a 1-yard touchdown for the Malcolm Clippers, and they trim into this Lincoln Lutheran lead. It's now 24-13 with 22 seconds to play in the first half.
You know, a good job there by Brickson Myers being a little patience there on a little bit of a handoff delayed draw. We see Nebraska run that play quite often with Emmett Johnson. But also, this is the first time we feel, Nick, we're over here most likely on the Malcolm student section, obviously family section. First time you felt the home crowd come alive with his Malcolm Clippers battling back, only down by 10 when they looked like they were dead in the water. Battling back.
It is 24-14 with 22 seconds to play in the second quarter. We will keep it right here as we will have your halftime coverage back from our 93.7 The Ticket studio as Tristan will take you through the halftime break. And with 22 seconds to go in the second quarter, it's 24-14. We remind you, make sure you tune in all day long to The Ticket as we will start the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show and get you ready for Nebraska and USC starting at 3 p.m. Central Time. We can also tell you that immediately following the game, myself, Jay Foreman, we will be on the Jay Foreman postgame show.
Tomorrow
night.
Yeah.
It's going to be a late night for us two.
Yeah, it will be, man.
Are you going to be all right? You need me to get you a 5-hour energy?
To be determined.
Just get you a win.
Yeah,
That's
if you
all
get
that
a
matters.
win, I'll be up all night.
I've heard that before. 24-14, 22 seconds to go in the quarter, in the first half as well. 10-point is all that separates Lincoln Lutheran and Malcolm here as they boot this one away, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. So Lincoln Lutheran, I would imagine, might just kneel this one down and say, let's go into the halftime locker room. However, if you're Coach Weeding and you saw what A.J. Iverson, your backup quarterback, was able to do for the injured Pro Cop a few minutes ago, and that was deliver a 54-yard strike for a touchdown to Charles Caldwell, well, you might say, go ahead and let one fly, young fella.
Yeah, why not? Sean Weeding's holding him up. He's been aggressive from the very first play of the game. You might as well finish it that way. And you feel very good about your passing attack. And you have Caldwell out there. Listen, he's done everything under the sun. He's done defensively. He's had a couple pass breakups and timely tackles, 2 touchdowns, one via the pass and one obviously kickoff return. They got him locked up here down at the bottom of the field with no help over the top against Walters. Their knee.
And they take a knee. There it is. There's the end of the first half. Lincoln Lutheran led it 17-0 after one period of play, but at the half, it is a 24-14 Warriors advantage here in the first round of the Class C2 playoffs between Lincoln Lutheran and the Malcolm Clippers. The Warriors of Lincoln Lutheran lead it by 10 as we go to the halftime break. We'll send it back to our 93.7 The Ticket studios for now, as Tristan will take you through the halftime show here on a Friday night, right here, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Tune in this Friday as Early Break with myself, Steve Sipple, and Bill Bush broadcast from the Nebraska Army National Guard hangar ahead of the air show this weekend. You won't want to miss this one. That's this Friday for Early Break from 6 to 8 a.m. at the Nebraska Army National Guard hangar.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome in to the 93.7 The Ticket studio. I'm Tristan Gomez. I'll take you through our halftime show, go through some of the scores going around the state. As we all know, it is Nebraska high school football playoffs. They're underway, and we got some great games. Every school fighting for an opportunity to play at Memorial Stadium. So, with that being said, we'll start off just with the score of the game. As you all know, Lincoln Lutheran showing up to Malcolm after coming off a loss to Malcolm last week. They came out firing with a kickoff return to make it 7-0. They then get a 3-and-out, end up getting the ball back, kicking a field goal, 10-0. And then they get a sack fumble recovery in the end zone to make it 17-0. But with that being said, Malcolm hasn't folded yet. Lincoln Lutheran ended up scoring 24 in the first half, and Malcolm came back to make it a 10-point game with 14 with a touchdown right before the end of the half. Now, let's get into some scores going around the state, starting in Class A. Actually, some pretty close games, but we'll start out with the Millard South Patriots. They're hosting Omaha Westview, and at halftime, this game is all that I bet the state has expected. Millard South leads that one 38-0. Very convincingly. Jet Somalia having a game, already has a few passing touchdowns under his belt. That one seems like it's going to be all Patriots. Last night, Millard West took on Elkhorn South in the first round. Elkhorn South hosted that one and came to victory with a 31-13 pretty convincing win to send them to the next round of the playoffs. Next up, we have Creighton Prep. They are hosting Lincoln Southeast. It was a tight ball game for a little bit in the first quarter. At halftime, we have Prep leading 17-3. Creighton Prep being the 2 seed in this playoff bracket. Next up, we have Westside up 21-7 against 28-7 now. I apologize, against Bellevue West. That's a game that Omaha Westside has been dominant all year. They came off a loss to Omaha Central a few weeks ago and have not looked back since. They dominated Elkhorn South and have just dominated the rest of the way to take over that one spot in the playoff bracket, Millard South being the 4 seed. If those teams end up playing each other, unfortunately, it will not be a rematch of last year's state championship. That will come in the semis. And as we've seen in years past, it seems like there's some semifinal games that almost feel like it's the championship game. Whoever wins that one is going to be the one to take it all. That's how I got it in my book. Millard South, Omaha West Side, the 1 and 4 seed. But let's stick to now. Let's be present and talk about the games going on right now. Omaha Central, they lead 10-7. Last time I checked, Lincoln East was on the doorstep, though, about to score in the second quarter. I'll have to look to see if they did. Next, we have Millard North taking on the Omaha North Vikings. Omaha North, the higher seed in that one, but Millard North is ahead at the half, 17-6. Next, we have some Omaha Lincoln outsiders. We got Columbus taking on Kearney at Kearney. That's a close one, very defensive battle there. At the half, it's 7-3 Columbus. The winner of that one will end up taking on what seems like right now Omaha West Side, and that'll be a good one. Really good matchup there, defensive matchup for Columbus and Kearney. Next up, we have Papillion La Vista South, who I believe is the 3 seed in this state playoff bracket. And they're only up 8-7 against the North Star Navigators. The North Star Navigators made their way down I-80, made it to Papillion, and they're putting up a fight. They're playing extremely well. Another defensive battle heading into halftime, 8-7. The Titans lead that one. Now going into Class B, Waverly, the number 1 seed in this playoff bracket, has done what they've done all year, just absolutely dominated. They're taking on Grand Island Northwest, and they are currently winning that one 35-0 heading into halftime. The Vikings of Waverly have been dominant all year. They're coming in with a 9-0 record and have just dominated Class B so far this year, and tonight is no different. Another nowhere near a close game. At the half, the Bennington Badgers lead Plattsmouth 41-0. Very high scoring for the Badgers. They're another school that always seems to make a big splash when it comes to state football playoff time. And this Class B seems wide open. You still have Scott Catholic, who has dominated Class B for years and years. They're coming off a state championship. They're lower, though. They're a 7 seed this year, but there's no reason to count out the Skyhawks. Next up, we have Gretna leading Norris. Norris has been unbelievable this year, playing extremely well, and they currently are losing to Gretna 21-17, another high-scoring game for a first half in high school football, and that is heading into halftime as well. Gretna East leads Standing Bear 13-9 at the half, and Seward and McCook, low-scoring game, 7-6. Seward is on top of that one. So it seems like in Class B, it's either a blowout or we got a really close ball game, which is exciting to see. Same thing in Class A, got a few close games as we have Papillion La Vista South and Lincoln North Star, Miller North, Omaha North, Central, Lincoln East. The Lincoln schools have been showing up. Lincoln Southeast is Spencer Schwellenbach just walked by, and Shea Shanneman, two former Huskers. Those are the guys, Husker baseball players, both of them. Well, one of them, Spencer Schwellenbach, playing for the Atlanta Braves, just gave a shout out to him, as well as Shea Shanneman, also in the Braves organization. All right, back to high school football. Let's move on to Class C. Lakeview leads Boys Town 14-6 at the half. Wahoo, who has another school, been dominant, coming off a state championship last season. They're going all in again. They're going all in as the 1 seed. They're currently leading Milford 41-14. Mount Michael leading O'Neill 17-7 at the half. Aurora 21-7 at the half. They are taking on, let me look that up real quick. I'll find that one for us. Anyway, we'll come back to there. Syracuse leading Gross 22-13. C2, where Jay and Nick are at right now for the Lincoln Lutheran Malcolm game. As we've listened to so far, Lincoln Lutheran been dominant, came out on fire, went up 17-0 early, ended the half up 24-14. Next, UTAN has already defeated Norfolk Catholic with a score of 36-8. Grand Island Catholic 35-7. And that's about all we got. We got a few games that have already finished up for Class C, and even a few Class B games that have already finished up. We'll go and find those scores for you as well. A lot of going on in high school football so far, which is exciting to see. And once the playoffs start, it seems like these schools just come out on fire, and they're different. I mean, we can even start with this Lincoln Lutheran Malcolm game. Last week, Malcolm was up 20-0 with just a few minutes left in the game, and Lincoln Lutheran comes up with a touchdown to make it 27. And it seemed like Lincoln Lutheran just had a chip on their shoulder going into this one. They came out unbelievable. I mean, anytime you come out with a kickoff return for a touchdown, that just sets the tone. They get a 3-and-out. They go down, they're driving, end up with a field goal, and then the ensuing offensive possession for Malcolm starts out with a 10-yard penalty on a holding call, puts them back even further into their own territory, and Lincoln Lutheran comes up with a strip-sacked fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown. So that's just how Lincoln Lutheran has showed up today. I got some of the scores from the Class C1 games that have already been played. Sydney hosted Pierce, and they came out on top with a 21-14 victory, and Fort Calhoun took on Gothenburg and won 22-13. Gothenburg was my school that I thought was going to make an upset this week. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Another big blowout. Unfortunate for Chadron making their way all the way to Ashland Greenwood. Tough game for them. Ashland Greenwood takes that one 47-13. Not much of a close one. Aurora was playing Central City, and they are up 14-7, almost into halftime in that one. See if we got any other scores. C2, we got those pulled up. Cedar Catholic, they defeated Hershey 48-0, which pretty dominant out of Cedar Catholic as the 1 seed in this state playoff. As said before, UTAN just pulled off a huge victory against Norfolk Catholic 36-8. Ord taking on Donovan Trumbull, which, wow, we're in the second quarter of that one, and we got a pretty high scoring game as Ord leads 35-30. Not much defense being played there. As an offensive guy, though, I absolutely love it. You like to see a little bit of defense, some tackles being made, but when you got two schools just going at it, airing it out, making plays, scoring touchdowns, it's easily fun to watch. Bergen Catholic taking on the Scott Frost alma mater, Wood River, and they are dominating. In the second quarter, it is 40-0 in that one. And Kearney Catholic currently at halftime against Boone Central. They lead that one 14-7. Grand Island Central Catholic up 28-0 against Point Beamer. So those are just some of the games we got going around the state right now for high school football playoffs. I'll give you a quick little preview of the college football slate we have tomorrow before I send it out to Nick and Jay at Malcolm High School. Looking over to the games tomorrow, not too many ranked matchups. The only one I'm seeing right now is Vanderbilt, number 9, at number 20, Texas. That's going to be a game that Texas really needs to win. I don't think they can afford it anymore if they even want a shot of making the college football playoffs. And Vanderbilt is continuing to make a statement, make a name for themselves. Diego Pavia has all the confidence in the world, being mentored by Heisman Trophy winner Johnny Manziel. Vanderbilt's going to want to go into Austin and take that one from the Longhorns. Tough place to play, though. We'll see how that one ends up. Right now, we have number 25, Memphis, taking on Rice. Memphis handling Rice pretty easily. Owls, not much of a fight against the Tigers. 38-7, Memphis leads that one. Next, we have the West Virginia Mountaineers taking on number 22, Houston. That's an 11 a.m. kickoff. And then a game that is a little unfortunate that isn't what everyone would have thought of been college game day, arguably the game of the year. It's Penn State at number 1, Ohio State. It's unranked Penn State at number 1, Ohio State. It's a James Franklin, Drew Allerless, Penn State taking on the Buckeyes, who have just been dominant this year. Next up, we have number 10, Miami, coming off a tough loss to Louisville. They're trying to keep up with that ACC. I believe that ACC is still wide open. Georgia Tech absolutely dominating there, but Miami takes on SMU at SMU. Louisville, they are the school that knocked out Miami at Miami. That's a team that is on the come up. Seems like Louisville is always up and down, but this is a year that they're fighting and playing hard. They take on Virginia Tech. Next up, we have number 5, Georgia, going into the Swamp to take on Florida. And then number 12, Notre Dame. Notre Dame seems like they have to win out, coming off 2 tough losses to Miami and Texas A&M, 2 very highly ranked teams, top 10 teams. So you can't bash them too hard for those losses. But if they want to make that college football, make a run like they did last year, they're going to have to defeat Boston College tomorrow. Next, we got Texas Tech in Manhattan taking on Kansas State. Then we have number 2, Indiana, heading to Maryland. Number 15, Virginia. They'll head to Cal. South Carolina takes on Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin seems like he's got a pretty solid squad, confident squad this year. And then we got Purdue headed to number 21, Michigan. And undefeated Georgia Tech taking on NC State at NC State. And then college game day, we got 17 Cincinnati at number 24, Utah. Another ranked one, Oklahoma, Tennessee, 2 teams fighting to stay at the top of the SEC. And of course, we have number 23, USC in town, taking on our very own Cornhuskers. Going to be late night blackout, huge environment for the Cornhuskers. Would be a huge statement win for Matt Rule to come out on top against that one, against that very high-powering offense that USC has. With that being said, though, we are going to send it back to Nick and Jay for the second half of the high school football game we got tonight. It's Lincoln Lutheran at Malcolm. Lincoln Lutheran leading 24-14. Don't go anywhere. Jay and Nick will be right back.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
At Doane University, we build leaders, and that means your success and achievements come first. Now is the time to get a glimpse into living and learning at Doane University through a personalized in-person or virtual visit. We know once you experience Doane, you'll see why it's a place where you can achieve your goals and shape your future. Schedule your personal campus visit today at doane.edu/visit.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back in. It is the start of the second half here from Malcolm High School. Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman. Jay, you got some fellow inductees into the Husker Hall of Fame tonight.
Yeah, man. Congratulations, man. It's a big deal. Look, and it was a special moment for when I went in, and I'm sure they're feeling the same.
What year did you go in?
2019.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it started in 2015, right?
Yeah.
That's what I
and
thought.
so I was fortunate enough to go in, and it's national championships are great, and obviously when you're able to get honored for your individual play, I think it's a byproduct from my teammates and great coaches. So they probably feel the same. Lisa Reisman and Aaron Taylor going in, two of the greatest players in those eras that they were at Nebraska. Definitely get to go in, not only celebrate themselves, but their families too, family and friends, because it takes a village to be that great. So congratulations to them all. Probably see them tomorrow at the game and hopefully bring some good luck against the USC Fighting Trojans on the blackout. We are going all in on the blackout, Nick.
Will I
on
see
the
you do,
blackout.
Okay. Will I see you do a fight on at all tomorrow?
No.
Lincoln Lutheran to kick off to start quarter number 3 as it's 24-14 in favor of the Warriors against the Clippers here. The winner continues their season next Friday. The loser, done. Dunzo. Going to Cancun. Not really. Going to school on Monday as the kickoff will go out of bounds. And the Clippers will begin at the 35-yard line.
Yeah.
1st and 10. What do you need to see from Malcolm here in the start of the third quarter?
A better first drive than they did in the first quarter, and they got aided right there by the kicking it out or the ball going out of bounds. And it must be something that Sean Wheating didn't want to give Malcolm a chance on their kickoff return.
Sure.
This is the third kickoff that has gone to the up back. This one, unfortunately for them, went out of bounds. So I want to see from Malcolm. I want to see them get back to Malcolm football. The young offensive line, freshmen and sophomores on the offensive line playing in their first playoff game should be settled down by now.
Yeah.
You had some momentum going into halftime. Let's see if you keep it coming out of halftime with this drive.
We're ready to go. Start us off as they motion a big man from left to right. Now they'll take the snap. Quarterback keeper. This is Little trying to navigate his way through coverage, and there's just nowhere for him to go.
Yeah.
Didn't even have a blocker. There was 4 Warrior defenders there saying, hello, how are you? Let's take you down to the grass.
Well, they tried to take a page out of Sean Wheating's book in, one back count or one back draw or quarterback draw there, excuse me. But they didn't have a lead blocker. But more importantly, Nick, when they went to no backs in the backfield, Lincoln Lutheran didn't move. So if you did that to see how they would adjust, they said, listen, we're stopping the run game. We are daring you to pass.
2nd down and 9 from the 36-yard line. 11:20 to go in the third quarter. 24-14. Malcolm trailing by 10. The quick pass for the Clippers offense out to the right side. Watch out. Here he goes. That is number 22, Nolan Duzick, who's on the reception. And that is a large gain on the play. 1st and 10 for the Clippers on the plus side of the 50.
Really good job there by Malcolm on the perimeter blocking there and allowed Duzick to catch the corner, set up there by his all-everything wide receiver. And Walters, really good block there. He was able to catch the corner. Even better job by Ernst coming out of his free safety position to stop the touchdown or touchdown saving tackle there. Now you look at Malcolm. You asked what I wanted to see. This is exactly it. You're ahead of the chains. You're moving. You're back to what we've been known to see throughout the high school season from Malcolm.
Watch a double pass here as they throw it downfield. There's a receiver open. It's hauled in inside the 25, inside the 20, and they'll just take him down inside the 20-yard line, down at the 18. It is from Kuchera, who was the wide receiver, doubled as the quarterback there. Hauling it in on the reception was Brixton Meyer inside the 20. It's 1st and 10 for the Clippers.
So we've seen a little bit of a sneaky adjustment there by Malcolm coming out at halftime. Where they felt like they were playing defense the whole time because Sean Whitting and crew was ultra aggressive. They have taken on that mantra to come out aggressive. It was set up by the play by Dusick up the right sideline. Came back, ran the same action there, but it ended up being a wide receiver pass. Big play there by Malcolm.
24-14 your score, I formation. Now they'll motion the fullback to the left side, turn, hand it off. Brixton Meyer cuts his way. Great patience by the running back, Brixton Meyer, inside the 10, and he's going to be close to that first down line to gain a 9.
I like the way Brixton Meyer runs the ball. He's really, really patient. He runs behind his pads. He sets up his blocks. Big explosive play there on first down. This is what Malcolm has been doing all season long behind that mammoth offensive line and really good running back. Setting it up there by the 2 explosive pass plays.
Second down and 1 after the gain of 9 from the 6-yard line. They can get a first down, obviously, without finding Pater. They'll motion the fullback over to the left side, turn, hand it off. It's the same exact play, just reversed the other way, and Brixton Meyer scores. Touchdown. The Malcolm Clippers draw within 4 points. It's 24-20, and this one far from over.
Yeah, we have a ball game, folks. Malcolm showing the heart of a champion, of a young champion, right? Going down by as much as 17 in the first half, battling back, giving it back to him. 2 back-to-back drives of touchdowns, and potentially could be 14 points with this extra point here by Dusick. What I really like there, what Malcolm was doing, they came out and softened up the defense by obviously a wide receiver jailbreak screen to the right side, came back, jailbreak screen, wide receiver pass, go right back to Meyer. He's setting up his blocks. They're running a little bit different of a running attack against this Lincoln Lutheran offense or defense. They're attacking the edges and then cutting back versus straighten to run them over. Really good adjustment there by Malcolm.
It's 24-21. That drive, 65 yards, 2 minutes off the clock. And it's 24-21. How about that? A successful 2-for-1 for the Malcolm Clippers. They scored in the final minutes with 22 seconds to go until the first half. And then now they score after they receive the second half kickoff. They go down 65 yards, 2 minutes off of it, and they score 6 and a point. So it's 24-21. Lincoln Lutheran now. I'll ask you the same question, Jay. For the Warriors offense, still unclear if Prokop is going to be able to go, their starting quarterback. They didn't really skip a beat or miss a beat with Iverson back there either. It looks like A.J. Iverson is going to be the one to lead and at least start things here for the Warriors offense in the third quarter. What do you need to see from Lincoln Lutheran?
Well, you got to see them get maybe a little bit of a sustained drive here, right? The defense has been on the field for the last 2 drives, even though you're coming out of halftime rested. But the momentum is on the Malcolm Clippers sideline. You want to see a little bit more conventional offense. I think Sean Whitting likes the way that Iverson plays. Now we got a fumble on the kickoff here. Good recovery. See if it turns into another explosive play by Lincoln Lutheran.
A good job by Malcolm making the tackle. That's number 33, Cooper Vitic, who is able to get over there and make the stop just past the 30-yard line. Lincoln Lutheran starts on possession.
One thing they have to do is try to establish that run game that really worked like a charm up until they got stymied. And then maybe try to work Coleman in there as a tight end. He's a big 6'6", 235-pound target. And then try to go back to the explosive plays. You have to expect, even though it won't stop you from calling it, that they're going to roll coverage to Caldwell or be aware when he's out there, because he has been paying off like gangbusters, and along with Ernst and him and lined up to the same side. Don't be surprised if Sean Whitting tries to strike back again to get the momentum back for Lincoln Lutheran.
Iverson in the shotgun. They low snap, fumble on the snap. It's hauled in by Iverson. He's just going to have to tuck and run. And number 55 fumble for the Malcolm Clippers in on the stop. That is number 55, Kellen Ensrud, who was there to meet Iverson. Number 53 for the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors off that offensive line, Jacob Bokelman, slow to get up. He's the center as he was slow to get up, but looks to be okay. And it's going to be second down and 13 after the sack.
Yeah, that's a sack, and obviously a tackle for loss there for the Clippers. But more importantly, as I said on the last drive before halftime, this is the first time you felt like the home crowd is into it, right? And so now when you look at Malcolm, they have all the momentum. They're only still down by 3, so they haven't got back the hole or potentially gained the lead back, but they have the momentum and looking to strike again on defense before they get the ball back.
2nd down and 13, a little bit of a bobbled snap. This one, though, here's Coolman. He barrels his way on the reception across the 1st down marker and just shy of the 45-yard line. It is a 14-yard gain for Grant Coolman, and it's going to be a 1st and 10 coming up for Lincoln Lutheran.
Yeah, when you can't go explosive play through the air to Caldwell, or Ernst is obviously a little bit compromised there. You go back to your big physical tight end. Good-looking prospect there, 6'6", 235 pounds. A little bit of a misdirection there, got him in the flat, broke a tackle, got the 1st down, and then got the momentum back shortly back to Lincoln Lutheran on the offensive side of the ball.
8 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Shotgun formation as Trombley gets the direct snap. Here he has it. He skirts his way through some traffic and close to that 1st down marker, and it's going to be a 9-yard gain. Zeke Trombley with a nice little run there on 1st down to make it 2nd and incredibly manageable at 2nd and inches.
Yeah, Trombley is coming back with the conventional run game. It played off like a charm in the 1st half multiple times, but they kept getting explosive plays or timely turnovers and touchdowns on defense, so he wasn't able to really establish it. So if I'm Malcolm, I have to get my bearings back. Sometimes you see the offense score and you kind of let up a little bit. The defense kept them into the game. On the flip side, have all the defensive plays for Malcolm started to wear them out because Lincoln Lutheran looks to move the ball here.
2nd down and short, pump fake, looking downfield. Iverson in coverage. Watch out, a couple of guys go full extension. He came down with it. What a catch by Lincoln Lutheran on the far side. I believe that's to number 10, Oscar Prock now, and it's a 1st down for Lincoln Lutheran in double coverage. I thought the defensive back came flying in. Number 2 for Malcolm, Miles Scoville was in coverage, and somehow it went through the needle in the haystack there, and it's a completed pass, 1st down.
Yeah, Braxton Meyer over there trying to make a play on the ball, and I will say this, Nick, when you look up into the lights, the new lights here, great job by Malcolm community recovering from the tornado. Tracking the ball, right?
Yes.
Through these lights is something that people don't really pay attention to when you see it. A little bit of mishap there led to a big play.
Handoff on 1st down from the 24-yard line at Zeke Trombley, and a possession where if you're Lincoln Lutheran, you are trying and you're dying for a touchdown or some points to continue to fend off the Malcolm Clippers, who have come back after they were trailing 17-0. They trail now 24-21. It's a 4-yard gain on 1st down, 2nd and 6 from the 20.
Yeah, Lincoln Lutheran can slow the game down a little bit. You like your kicker. You feel like he has a pretty good, strong, and accurate leg. But then also you can slowly but surely really get that momentum back if you're able to get 3 points and then more importantly 7 points and a touchdown.
Now they hand it off. Trombley again in traffic, and he's going to be stopped after a short gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 from the 18.
Right. When I look at Malcolm's defensive line and their offensive line, obviously I think Lincoln Lutheran has a pretty good, big physical team too. I've been really surprised, Nick, to see Lincoln Lutheran being able to move the ball conventionally in the run game as easily as they had they have been all 3 quarters. And so when you're at 3rd and what does that look from here? About 5. You got to think, Sean Weedy, points are paramount, right? Right. You're in playoff football here now. And, you went for it on 4th down one time. You didn't get it. And deep in your red zone. Now you got to probably try to think about if you don't get the 1st down, you have to take the points or take a shot at a field goal.
Halfway through the 3rd quarter, Iverson play action, rolls out to the right, gets hit as he throws. He has a receiver. It's hauled in. Here's Ernst just past the 20-yard line, and it'll be a loss of 1 on the play. The ball was marked at the 18. Yeah. They tackle him at the 19, and so now 4th and 6 is the line to gain.
36-yard field goal?
That is correct.
36-yard field goal. So it's decision time now. Now you're kicking into the wind, so you can probably calculate for at least 5 more yards. Now you're deciding to go for it. It also lets you know potentially what the mindset is of Coach Weeding coming down the stretch if it's a 3-point game where you need to win or to tie.
This is a big quarter for Malcolm as they are going with the wind here in the 3rd quarter. I would imagine that that's some of the thought process in Weeding's mind as well for Lincoln Lutheran. If you can eliminate as much time as possible in this 3rd quarter, you're going to force Malcolm to work going into the wind in the 4th quarter. Here's a pass across the middle. It's hauled in. Ernst in traffic. He hauls it in. There he goes. Ernst inside the 5-yard line. 1st down, Lincoln Lutheran. What a strike from A.J. Iverson to Trenton Ernst, who's been battling an ankle injury, went across the middle of the field and just lowered the shoulder, took the hit, and he holds on to the pigskin.
I like it. A great play there. You got to give Iverson a lot of credit, right? He's not the starter coming off as a senior or coming off the bench and a senior on the road at a playoff game. Probably not a lot of practice reps. That's the play concept, right? Little skinny post, double skinny post. What they went to in the first half paid off dividends with Ernst. Caldwell Cash Money records the first time. His partner in crime, Cash Money, in the second half.
4.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Shotgun formation. Trombley off to the left. They hand it off to Trombley, trying to barrel his way forward. Lowers the right shoulder. Did he get in? The near sideline official says no. They mark him down at the 1.
This is a, obviously potentially a game-defining drive here by Lincoln Lutheran, right? You lose the momentum going into halftime, coming out of halftime, and you get the ball back and essentially just march the ball down the field at will. Big play, conventional play, all set up by Kuhlman. Yeah. On the 3rd and about 8, and a big play there by the tight end that potentially could lead to 7 points for Lincoln Lutheran.
3 minutes and 50 seconds on the game clock. Here in the third quarter, it's 24-21 Lincoln Lutheran. They are on the doorstep of making this one a double-digit ball game again. 2nd and goal from the 1. Quarterback keeper Iverson. Can he lunge forward? The near sideline official says no. They're going to mark him for a loss. And, man, as physically as Trombley has been running the rock here today, I'm surprised that Coach Weeding went with the quarterback power there, especially with his backup quarterback that's a little taller, a little lengthy. And here we have it, 3rd down and goal coming up from the 2-yard line. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the third quarter, and it's a 3-point Lincoln Lutheran ball game. And they have the 3-point advantage on the Malcolm Clippers as they have now taken 7 minutes of game time off of this clock here in the third quarter after Malcolm came out and scored on 65 yards and 2 minutes of time. 2:55 to go in the third. Shotgun snap. It's fumbled. It's on the ground. It's loose. Lincoln Lutheran recovers, but all the way back at the 8-yard line. And now it's 4th and goal. Iverson is slow to get up. He seems to be okay, but Iverson a little shaken, and it's 4th and goal. And, man, Prokop is the first one off the sideline to greet Iverson, who's banged up.
Yeah, Iverson's more than shaken up. He looked like he might have been asleep a little bit. He just woke up from a little quick nap. But, Nick, that's almost, when you think about the previous play, you said quarterback power. Most likely you let Trombley do that. Now you have a quarterback or center quarterback mishap on the exchange on the pistol formation, leads to a negative play. And now no field – I will say this, Nick. Even though I think Lincoln Lutheran has a pretty good kicker, number 22. What's the young man's name? Kamali Kua. He's a pretty good kicker, and he's been warming up on the sides. When you've been sitting on the sideline for real time, 45 to an hour, no matter the length of the kick, there's no guarantee, and he missed his last attempt. And so when you think about it, we'll see if that second down call –
a fumble on the field goal snap. Prokop has it, throws it forward. It's incomplete. And how about that? An empty possession for Lincoln Lutheran. It was a fumbled snap. It hit off of the fingertips of Prokop, who's the holder. Then it bounced off the helmet of the place kicker, as that was Kamali Kawa, who's the place kicker, on to attempt the 26-yard field goal. It bounced off the helmet and hit the turf, and it's incomplete. And so now –
well, you think about it, look, that second down play of that quarterback power, you called it. That you might would have went back to your big running back, even though he's the shortest guy on the field. He runs big behind his pads on the goal line. You got a really good job there by Malcolm defense. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. You end up pushing them back and get the ball back to your offense.
Here's the running back for the Malcolm Clippers. That's number 11, Brixton Meyer, on the carry. He goes nowhere. Loss of 2 on the play. I still stand behind this point of Malcolm came out in the third quarter, scored in 2 minutes in lightning fast time in comparison, especially to what they've done all game long so far. And then Lincoln Lutheran gets it back at the 20-yard line, and they go 79 yards and take almost 8 minutes of clock off. 7 minutes and 39 seconds. Empty possession, but still a lot of time went off that clock. This is a massive drive for Malcolm here because Lincoln Lutheran has shown the ability all game to sustain drives, not necessarily execute and score points, but to at least keep the offense on the field for extended periods of time. It's a 5-yard gain on 2nd down and 11 to make it 3rd down and 6 or so, and this is a massive play with 90 seconds to go in the quarter.
Yeah,
number
Nick,
3.
and also this is the last, obviously quarter or time that Malcolm will have the wind behind their back, and so it shouldn't affect how you go about trying to get a first down here with the play calls, because you have to be somewhat conservative. You got to dial up something that everybody knows how to obviously execute, but more importantly, you don't want put yourself in harm's way to have a turnover, as you just seen Lincoln Lutheran do that on the field goal attempt.
Little is under center, looking to pass, gets pressured up the middle, throws it across the near side, outside the numbers. It was intended for number 44, as running across the middle, it was Isaiah Bayaza, and it is incomplete, forcing a Malcolm punt with the wind behind him, which is beneficial. But just like we just kind of talked about, after Malcolm came out, really took assertiveness out of the halftime locker room. Then now they allow a long drive. They were able to bow up, but now you're about to give it back to the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors with 60 seconds to go in the third quarter, with the Warriors up by 3.
And more importantly, Caldwell, who's been all everything and pretty much a one-man gang for Lincoln Lutheran, is back returning the punt. And he is not only fast, he's explosive, and then also the ability to catch it off the bounce. He's been able to make huge returns.
Fields it on a line this time at the 45-yard line, takes a couple of steps back, now reverses direction. On the right side, here comes Caldwell up the near sideline, thought about reversing course, and gets driven out of bounds by number 88 of the Malcolm Clippers in coverage. That was Eli Wolbert, the senior, who was able to drive him out of bounds on the near sideline just past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, there's only so many times that Malcolm is going to be able to try to or get chances to take advantage of the numerous opportunities that Lincoln Lutheran is not only given to get back into the game, but take the lead. Because you think about it, Nick, twice in the first half, you stop them on turnovers on downs. You have a missed field goal as well. Then you have another missed field goal on a ball handling mishap, and you barely get out of your own way and don't get a first down. Now your defense is back on the field after they had to battle for 8 minutes in the third quarter, and we haven't even started the fourth quarter yet.
It's 24-21, Lincoln Lutheran with a 3-point lead. They take over now, 1st and 10 at the Malcolm Clippers 41-yard line. Here's a handoff, Zeke Trombley up the gut, and he just kind of backpedals his way into traffic and barrels forward across the 40-yard line down at the 39 with 33 seconds to go and counting here in the third quarter. I would imagine that Lincoln Lutheran is just content with running this one out here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 8. So just to set the stage for quarter number 4 here, as it is 24-21. We are under 20 seconds now and counting. And once again, it looks like Lincoln Lutheran isn't even going to set up. They're going to let this game clock in the third quarter expire, and they will get ready for the final period of play. We will as well. It's a good one. 24-21. The Malcolm Clippers at home trail the visitors, the team that they beat last week, 20-7. Lincoln Lutheran looking for revenge in a win or go home matchup. We head to the final period of play. It's 24-21. Lincoln Lutheran up by 3 on Malcolm here on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is time to start the fourth quarter of play. Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman. Tristan is back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios on a brisk, on a chilly, on a football Friday here in the Class C2 state playoffs. The winner continues their season next week. The loser done for the 2025 campaign. It's 24-21 as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Lincoln Lutheran with the lead and the football. 2nd down and 8 at the Malcolm 39-yard line here. Just west of Lincoln, about 15 minutes in shotgun formation. A.J. Iverson, the backup quarterback, hands it off to Zeke Trombley, and Trombley gets stood up just past the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a gain of 1 on the play, if anything. 3rd down and 7 coming up. A massive, massive opportunity for Malcolm's defense here, Jay.
Yeah, once again, Malcolm's defense has got to bow up and give the ball back to their offense, but before we get into that, Zeke Trombley, I want to give a credit to him. He is a freshman, a true freshman out here in a playoff game, two physical teams. There's some really good football going on out on that field, and more importantly, very physical game. But now back to Malcolm defensively. You got to play your principles. Obviously, with Iverson, he showed the ability to throw it deep, but more importantly, you got to get some pressure on the quarterback and tackle the ball effectively, not giving him a chance to go for it on 4th down.
3rd and 7. Iverson getting pressured. He throws off his back foot, and it is incomplete. Wow. There were 2 Lutheran Warrior receivers in the area. Coleman along with number 3 Caldwell. Yeah. Both were in the area. Both had a chance to get some mitts on it. Yeah. There was only one Malcolm defender in the vicinity, and it falls incomplete. Yeah. And so it is going to bring up 4th down and 7, and the Malcolm Clippers get what they needed. A punt is coming up for Lincoln Lutheran.
Yeah, A.J. Iverson is slippery back there as a quarterback, got that ball off into the flat. And you had Coleman and Caldwell there, and it almost looked like Caldwell was going to come up with a shoestring catch, but nevertheless wasn't able to corral it. Now Malcolm has to get back on the mend offensively. You have to get back in rhythm. I think they've found something with Meyer in the running attack. You found a little bit of the wide receiver screen game. You got to get back in there and get back to being aggressive. And
absolutely perfect punt by Trenton Ernst as it took a bounce, and it was fielded at the 1-yard line by the Lincoln Lutheran coverage team. And so it is now 1st and 10, and we remember what happened the last time Malcolm was near their own end zone. It was a strip sack that resulted in a Lincoln Lutheran touchdown. That's how they went up 17-0 at one point.
Nick, do you know who Tony Dorsett is?
I do.
Do you know what made him famous?
No, I do not.
99 yards on Monday Night Football against my Minnesota Vikings back when they had the white face mask. Really goes down in NFL history. Could we see it again? Braxton Meyer at the 1-yard line.
Here we go. Under center, it's Little, the quarterback.
You go QB sneak here?
Braxton Meyer is in the backfield. Under center, Little turns, hands it off. Meyer has a lot of running room up the near side, and he almost broke it free, Jay, just past the 6-yard line. There was an opening.
Yeah.
I got excited on that one.
A lot of explosive runs come off of short yardage. And we saw it, Nebraska against Northwestern. You see it all the time in the NFL. And obviously all the way back to Tony Dorsett and company, almost was able to go 99 yards out here in Malcolm. They might have put a statue of him out here going 99 yards in the playoff game.
2nd down and 4 after the gain of 6 on 1st down. Gave him a little bit of breathing room. Under center, same formation. They turn, same play. Braxton Meyer lowers the shoulder, and he gets a gain of 2 up near the 10. Jay, I've never asked you. We've known each other for a while. I've never asked you. One NFL team, and when you said the Miami or Minnesota Vikings, it made me think.
Yeah.
One NFL team that you wish you could have played for. Would it be the Vikings?
Of course, with the Vikings, but I would say that besides that, it would be Pittsburgh Steelers, or the Patriots, because I feel like they would brought something out of it maybe that I didn't know I had. Okay. And obviously they won a lot.
Yeah.
And got a couple Super Bowl rings.
They're down in 2.
I've been cool just hanging out for a little while.
I know. They're down in 2. Under center. Big snap coming up for Malcolm's offense. They turn, hand it off, and barreling forward across the 10-yard line. He needed to get to the 11.
Really good job by Lincoln Lutheran getting back and not being offsides. It is now 4th.
So it's 4th down and 1 from the 10.
I'm going for it.
You're from your own 10-yard line. They're going to punt into the wind.
10-yard line. I'm going
for
it.
They're gonna usher the punt unit now off the field.
Yeah.
They're gonna call a timeout. They're gonna talk this thing over.
That's what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
8 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the ball game. It's 24-21. Lincoln Lutheran with a 3-point lead. However, Malcolm has it 4th and 1 at their own 10-yard line, and decision time for the Clippers sideline.
My decision is made.
Yours is.
Yeah.
But we've already established that you're up here for a reason.
Yeah, but I should be down there.
Now, the other side of it is that for Malcolm, they'll be punting this one into not a gale force wind by any means, but a pretty steady breeze.
A steady breeze with a little bit of elements starting to pick up here. Obviously, we can forecast tomorrow for Nebraska. It would be about game almost over, about 9:01 tomorrow. But is it what it'll feel like there?
It'll be a little bit later, Jay.
It will? Why is that?
sorry.
The game's at 6:30.
Yep.
It'll get over at 9:30?
Well, you got to remember, this is big-time national TV.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
going to get a TV timeout anytime they can. Especially, they're not in a carriage dispute.
Yeah.
4th down and 1.
Well, I think
here we go. It looks like they're
full house backfield. This is old school football, Nick.
All
Okay,
right.
back when they wore leather helmets.
How about this? The defense, the farthest guy, the farthest defensive back is 5 yards from where the ball is going to be
You got
snapped.
Dick Buckus in the middle.
Here we go, under center. They turn. Brickson Meyer needs 1 yard. He gets it across the 12-yard line, down at the 14, and Malcolm's drive is alive with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to play in the ball game, down by 3, and we have an injured Lincoln Lutheran Warrior on the grass.
Gutsy call there by Malcolm. I like the call, and even though you think that's the reason why I'm up here, I like it because I feel like, when you're watching the game, you have to keep the momentum on your side. Now you're deep in your own red zone, your negative zone, but you're able to get that first down, keep the momentum on your side after a big stop there. Then also right now, Nick, you can get your best, or I guess in their case, the best of the rest of the drive under wraps here with an injury timeout. So Malcolm's on the move here, but like I said before we got into this last drive, sooner or later they're going to have to take advantage of some of the mishaps there by Lincoln Lutheran. Now, if I'm Lincoln Lutheran and Sean Weeding, I'm doing the same thing. I'm getting my defense to look at the scoreboard and understand we're on the road in hostile territory. Just last week, we lost 20-7. We are winning this game with 8 minutes and some change left, 8 minutes and 40 seconds left, 43 seconds left. We have got to bear down. We should be fresher than them on the defensive side. We've got to execute. They have not been able to run the ball. Even though we're giving up some leaky yardage, we got to really make them into a one-dimensional team and gut out a win on the road here at a place they lost last week, 20-7.
How about this, Jay? An update from Papillion La Vista South, where 14 seed Lincoln North Star leads 16-15 over the 3 seed Papio South Monarchs going into the 4th quarter.
Are you surprised?
Back here, I'm not.
I
just report the news.
Tyrell Chapman.
I don't watch the news. I just report it. 1st and 10. Ball is on the own 14-yard line for the Malcolm Clippers. Here we go, folks. Down by 3 are the Clippers offense. Down with the football, rather. Little back to pass downfield. Has a receiver in traffic. It's a first down for Malcolm. I didn't know where that ball was going, but it somehow found a blue jersey, and it's a first down just shy of the 30-yard line. How about Duzick on the reception?
Really good job there by Little and finding Duzick. And they had 3 or 4 guys over there in that same area, but he knew exactly who was throwing it to. Big play there coming out of the makeshift injury timeout. I like the half roll. One is obviously you get your athletic quarterback out on the edge at the tackle position, but more importantly, make that big, strong defensive line be off balance and run side to side and versus north and south.
8:01 to play in the ball game. Down by 3 are the Clippers. They have the football. Shotgun snap. The jet toss working left to right. Here's Duzick. Tries to stiff arm a defender. He cuts back and he's able to get maybe 4 yards. Man, made something out of nothing. Nolan Duzick, another Lincoln Lutheran defender, slow to get up, but able to get up. That's Prokop again.
Yeah, Prokop is gutting out this game right here, and obviously he's good enough to play defense, and he plays on special teams. He's a holder holder for the place kicker on field goal and extra points, and obviously he's their punter, and he's coming out and playing defense. This is what it's all about, Nick. You can say it's small-time football. This is a competitive game. It's been actually one of the best and well-coached games that we've had, all year. And this is exciting. You would have never thought that we'd be in a 3-point game with Malcolm on the mend or on the move, considering how it started.
Snap back to Little. Watch out. Coleman trying to track him down from behind. A cut across the middle. A pass is complete. It's Brickson Meyer. Another first down at the 40-yard line as Little was getting pressured from the backside by Coleman, and he had been causing a ruckus back in the backfield all night long. Little able to roll to his left, throw across his body, find his receiver, Brickson Meyer, and it's a first down. Clippers 60 yards away from the end zone and still 7.5 minutes to work with here in the 4th quarter.
Little is cool as a cucumber. Big man Coolman was coming. I don't know if I could have waited to the last second, but he got it to his man. Big first down there by Malcolm.
Here we go. Snap back, shotgun, looking to pass. Little has his receiver. It's out of reach for, that is number 10, I believe. that is Baeza, number 44, on the far sideline. It's incomplete, 2nd down and 10. Still 7 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the fourth quarter. It's 24-21, the Warriors on top of the Clippers.
I like the mindset of Malcolm. Once they decide to go for it on 4th down backed up, this is 4th down territory, from here on out. And, I like the pass on 1st down. They have Lincoln Lutheran on their heels a little bit, and they're trying to keep them off balance so they can really lean on that running game to potentially close out this game.
2nd down and 10, the toss right side. Here goes number 4. That's Jake Walters. Gets 3 yards on 2nd down. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 7 just from the 43-yard line.
Yeah, you're starting to see a little bit more pace there from Malcolm, and obviously the execution is going up as well. Again, you're not seeing much of Meyer up the middle in the second half. You're seeing Meyer off tackle. What do you get there? A little bit of a jet sweep coming off of a ghost running back action. 3rd and 7 probably. 2 down territory. Malcolm has got 2 plays dialed up here if they don't get 1st down on this 3rd down.
This is what it's all about. We're halfway through the fourth quarter. 3rd down and 7. 24-21 your score. The Warriors up by 3. The Clippers with the football. Trailing by a field goal. Rolling to his left. Little, easy dump off pass. It's hauled in. 1st down, Malcolm and more. Across the 50, across the 45. A flag comes flying in. And I would imagine that 15 more yards are going to be tacked on to the end of this run for the Malcolm Clippers.
Malcolm Clippers, a really good play, a really good series for them, right? They're throwing into the wind. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
And they believe in Little. A controlled passing game, getting out on the edge. What have they done all second half, and particularly this fourth quarter, is giving Lincoln Lutheran a little bit of their own medicine. The long, methodical drive, but they're tiring out that big physical defensive line, making them go side to side, getting their athletic quarterback out there on the edge, then a little bit of a fullback to the flat off the play action. Really good play calling here. We're in a dogfight here, Nick. This is what high school football is all about. This is a great, great atmosphere here, right? You got both the fan bases sitting next to each other. And I'm going to want to say one thing. I was looking at the bracket here from C2. It doesn't matter whether you're 1 through 16 when you got this competitive type of game here tonight on Friday.
1st and 10 from the 25. Throwing off the back foot. Nobody's home. And it falls incomplete. Fortunately enough for Little, the quarterback for the Malcolm Clippers, he threw that into an area where there was nothing but a white jersey of the defender of Lincoln Lutheran, and it falls incomplete. The winner of this game will get the winner next week of number 7 seed Norfolk Catholic and number 10 seed UTAN. If Malcolm wins this one, they will be able to host next week. However, if Lincoln Lutheran wins tonight, they will either travel to Norfolk Catholic or to UTAN next week, as they will be the lower seed in the second round matchup. But you got to win tonight. 6:05 to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 10 from the Lincoln Lutheran 25-yard line. Rolls it out left side, handoff to the running back, number 11, Brixon Meyer. Short gain on the play to bring up 3rd down and about 7.
Right here, right now, you're going to see it. Everybody their will is going to be tested, right? Whereas Lincoln Lutheran is trying to guard against potentially a game time field goal, or a lead given to Malcolm by a touchdown. Malcolm is trying to get down closer and continue to put the pressure on Lincoln Lutheran, because I think in the back of their mind, they're thinking Lincoln Lutheran can't drive the field and score a touchdown, but they can get us with a field goal.
3rd down and 8 from the 23-yard line. Going into the wind to our right, it's the Malcolm Clippers offense trailing by 3 points. They throw it left side in one-on-one coverage. It's hauled in. He lunges across the line to gain. Are they going to give it to him? He needed to get to the 15-yard line, and it looks like he stepped out of bounds about a half a yard shy of the line to gain, and it's going to be 4th and inches coming up.
There's no fair dodging. Unfortunately for Malcolm, you had that one little half of your foot out of bounds. Now it's 4th and 1. You got to dial up your best run play or best play to get 1 yard. Now, this is what you do all the off-season training for.
Yep.
And for Lincoln Lutheran, you want to do the off-season training going both ways. Most of the guys you see on defense play a big role on offense, so it's going to test your will here on 4th and 1.
Here we go. Brixton Meyer has had his name called each time they've had a short down and distance. Do they do it again? They turn. Brixton Meyer lunges forward. He's drugged backwards. He didn't get it. Lincoln Lutheran sideline erupts as it's a turnover on downs.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. A really good job there by that big physical interior of Lincoln Lutheran, right? We're talking a big 62, 53, who was their starting center, 74, who was their starting right tackle, and Kuhlman, and then Heineman, 59, a 250-pound middle linebacker. The new defensive front and alignment that was made up on the fly this week, considering how they got beat in the run game last week by Sean Weeding and company, is paid off there on 4th down. So now you got to think, Nick, offensively for Lincoln Lutheran. How many first downs do I need to close out the game? You got to look at how many timeouts Malcolm has. You're going to think about, draining the clock after the clock gets going. And so you got to be cognizant of the play clock, but then more importantly, the timeouts of your opposition, which is Malcolm.
By my count, Malcolm with 2 timeouts remaining. They called one earlier when they were deciding whether or not to go for it from their own yard line. Here is Trombley. He bursts up the middle. A lot of running room for Zeke Trombley across the 40. It's a big gain all the way across the 40-yard line to the 42. And that is a gain of 25 yards on first down to give the Warriors another first down from their own 42-yard line with 5 minutes to play.
Zeke Trombley, the freshman, has been really dynamite tonight in his first playoff game. And so Sean Weeding is probably, he probably is really surprised people. You have a starting running back as a true freshman, but he is paying off tonight. And that conventional run game, really, to be honest with you, Nick, that's been the most consistent thing for them offensively. They went right back to it, got the ball near the 50-yard line. So if they get stopped here in the next 3 or 4 plays, they'll be able to potentially pin Malcolm back. Their backs against the wall.
A game that was a 20-7 final in favor of Malcolm last week. Lincoln Lutheran trying to win this one when it really matters. How about Zeke Trombley says, let me just go ahead and keep churning my legs all the way for a 10-yard gain. The initial contact was made just at the 45-yard line, 3 yards past the line of scrimmage, and this is a matter of want to now, Jay, with 4:22 to play in the ball game.
I think that momentum shift of finally stopping them on 4th in a short one has energized a team that looked like they were dead in the water in Lincoln Lutheran. When you look at Heineman, the right tackle, 53-62, the starting center and guard. Big Kuhlman out there. They don't even leave the field, Nick, all game long, and they are able to find a way to push through here so far against a tough Malcolm defensive front.
A.J. Iverson, the backup quarterback, in for Prokop, who banged up earlier, has an ankle injury, been able to play defense, but has been taken out at quarterback. Here is Trombley. He gets upended and driven back by Brixton Meyer about 3 yards after he took the football and started running to his left. It is a 2nd down and 7 coming up from the 45-yard line of Malcolm. You look at this, the way that this game has gone with 3.5 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Malcolm with 2 timeouts left in their pocket, down by 3. Malcolm will also have to go into the wind if they can get the football back, that is. Lincoln Lutheran trying to effectively end this one with just a couple of more first downs. 2nd down and 7, shotgun formation, 2 wideouts far side. Zeke Trombley, one of the shortest guys on the entire field, if not the shortest, is lined up to the left hip of A.J. Iverson, the backup quarterback. Snap at the chest, fielded the numbers. They hand it off. Trombley spins around after he gets hit about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage, still driving forward. At the 40-yard line goes Zeke Trombley, and it's going to bring up 3rd down and 2 from the 40-yard line of the Malcolm Clippers.
Yeah, a good job there by Trombley. Continue to turn his feet. Now you see Lincoln Lutheran getting some energy, trying to get their crowd hyped up, get them to potentially find something in the energy tank to get this first down. They think another first down or 2, they have this game almost firmly in their back pocket. You got Malcolm over here trying to defend the first down. You got to think it's 4-down territory for both teams. Malcolm has to really bow up here and get a big stop.
3rd down and 2. 2 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. Lincoln Lutheran, they'll show blitz. They run it with Trombley taken down from behind. 4th down and 4 coming up after he's taken down from behind. The quarterback, who's also the outside linebacker for the Malcolm Clippers, Gavin Little, takes him down for a 2-yard loss. Malcolm calls a timeout with 2:05 to play in the 4th quarter. And Jay, Malcolm more than likely going to get this football back here. And once again, let's just talk about the ebbs and the flows. I don't hate the decision, but we can talk about that in a second. Let's talk about the ebbs and flows, though, of this game, where Lincoln Lutheran starts the game with an opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Then it was a 3-and-out for Malcolm. Lincoln Lutheran goes down. They score a field goal from 33 yards out. Then another 3-and-out for Malcolm. Then a on that next Malcolm drive, a strip sack that was recovered for a touchdown. Lincoln Lutheran's offense hadn't done a whole lot in that first half. They didn't do a whole lot in the first 3 quarters. Malcolm able to execute a 2-for-1, able to get off the field on a couple of 4th down conversion attempts from Lincoln Lutheran's offense. Empty possessions for the Clippers are the reason they're down by 3, though.
Yeah, they've had multiple opportunities to not only get back in the game a little bit earlier, take control of the game, but right now this is the last one they're probably going to get. They really came up with a big stop there. Now right here, it's 4-down territory. They got to think about scoring.
Ernst shanks it off his foot, and it goes out of bounds. We'll see how far the near sideline official walks. It's a 13-yard punt. It's going to be fielded at the 36-yard line out of bounds. And Ernst, who has been struggling with an injury, him and Prokop both have some hurt ankles tonight. He kicks that one off of the side of his foot, and it was a 13-yard punt officially at the 36-yard line. 1st and 10, 2:01 to play. Malcolm needs 3 to tie. And there is 2 minutes and a second remaining on the game clock.
Here we go. This is the drive. This is the drive of the season, drive of your life here. If you're Little and Meyer back there and get another chance to take control of this game here with 2 minutes left.
Malcolm going into the wind. They hand it off. It's a reverse. Look for the double pass. They look downfield. It's into no man's land. It's tipped down. They had a guy wide open on the near sideline as Baeza was running, streaking, heading towards the end zone if they throw it his way.
Wow.
On the double pass, it is incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up from the 36.
I like it. You're going to be aggressive. You know it's 4-down territory. You have a chance. You're right and take a shot after you got a little bit of a momentum shift there in the shanked punt there by Ernst. But right now, if I'm Lincoln Lutheran, you got to think that they have plenty of time to make a big play to score. But we got to tackle well, get up a little bit slower. There's not a lot of time left for Malcolm to not be in a hurry.
I formation. They turn, fake the handoff. The blitz rushes past the running back. He throws off his back foot into coverage. It's somehow caught. The defensive back just didn't step in front of the receiver. Oh, no. Lincoln Lutheran had an interception in their lap. They didn't step in front of the receiver, and instead, number 4, Jake Walters, is able to haul it in. Gavin Little is slow to get up on the near sideline, and now Lincoln Lutheran's defensive back goes down, and we will have a stoppage on the field. But, Jay, that's an interception. If the defensive back, Prokop, just steps in front of the receiver, instead, Walters able to haul it in.
Nick, tracking the football on deep balls is something that in the recruiting area they really have to pay attention to. It in baseball as well, playing at night. And then also, Nick, it's harder to track for Lincoln Lutheran defenders when Malcolm is throwing against the wind.
Sure.
So it's floating. It starts out on the trajectory, maybe catching a wind gust, and just the timing. A great job by Walters, right? It's a game-defining play, potentially. It's floating up in the air. You see whether you want it more or he wants it, or you want it more than he does. Good job there by number 4 for Malcolm. Going through the would-be defender, making a big catch, not only getting a first down, keeping the momentum across the 50 at the 45-yard line. 1 minute and 46 seconds left. Malcolm is either going to try to get a field goal to tie it, or they're going to try to go for 7.
Oscar Prochnow was the injured warrior. Quick pass near side is deflected at the line. What a great defensive play by Coolman, who's banged up. There's some guys gritting it out on that field right now, Jay. The quarterback for Lincoln Lutheran is hurt, but he's still on there on the defensive side of the ball. Gavin Little for Malcolm, their quarterback, is not 100%. Coolman is visibly hurt. Ernst is visibly hurt for Lincoln Lutheran. They are banged up. Minute 40 to play in the ball game. Lincoln Lutheran leads by 3, 24-21 over the Malcolm Clippers. Malcolm has the football, 2nd down and 10 from the Lincoln Lutheran 45-yard line, going into the steady breeze blowing into their face. It's a fake toss to the left, looking downfield. Little hit as he throws. That should have been a pass interference, and there's no flags. You saw from up here on the far side of the field that their jersey was held and tugged by the Lincoln Lutheran defender, but nonetheless, they did not call it. So with 1:35 to go in the 4th quarter, It is now 3rd and 10 after Malcolm takes a shot. You don't do that, Jay, obviously, unless you're playing in four-down territory.
Yeah, it's four-down territory. There's no fair dodging, no looking back. But, boy, oh, boy, at the point of contact, the egregious jersey tug on the Malcolm sideline. Big missed call. When you think of that missed call, you look at the one that was called earlier in the game that led to 7 points. You never want to leave that out there. But you have 2 downs to get first down. Continue on this drive.
3rd and 10. Gavin Little under center. Brixenmeyer, the lone back. They fake the handoff, rolling to his left, reverses direction. Watch out. Gavin Little's going to tuck and run across the 4, across the 35. It's a first down, and he's shoved out of bounds. As Gavin Little gets a first down and then some on a 15-yard carry, it is a first down for Malcolm.
No, it was on the side. I can't see from here. He did light him up a little bit.
He did light him up. He light him up.
He did, yeah.
Welcome to fall football, baby.
You know what? I like the no call, considering that you said that it was close.
Now, granted, like in professional football,
Patrick Mahomes is getting that call.
Well, yes, because it's obvious that he's getting out of bounds and they're not going to hit him. But in this one, let him finish the fundamentals.
You
First
can't really
10.
see from here.
No, you're good. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. They'll motion a guy right to left as they take the snap. Back to pass Little. Pressure off the edge from Kuhlman. A wide receiver open on the wheel route. It's hauled in. And there he is again. It's another first down. Guess who? Number 21. That's Preston Kutra. The 5'11 junior hauls it in. And Malcolm is in business. 1st and 10 after the 15-yard pass completion. It's 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. 1:17 to go in the ball game with Malcolm down by 3. Under center, it's Gavin Little. 2 wideouts near side I formation with Brixenmeyer the backfield. They turn back to pass. Little looking into the near side. It's hauled in on a diving grab by guess who once again, Preston Kutra, and it's a 5-yard pitch and catch. For 2nd down and 5 from the 10. 55 seconds to play. Sorry, Jay.
They keep churning out yards, and, really this Malcolm offense, when they went into the hurry-up offense, and they're not really down by enough to really go into it, it's been really, really effective with the pitch and catch on the outside.
40 seconds and counting. 2 wideouts far side in the shotgun. It is Little. To his left, it's Brixenmeyer. 33 seconds and counting. A fade. It's a jump ball to the end zone. It's hauled in. Touchdown, Clippers.
Wow.
Preston Kutra. 3rd straight play. They've called his number the 3rd straight time. He's answered the call, and it's a touchdown for the Clippers, and they have their first lead with 29 seconds to go. They lead at 27-24.
Wow, man. Nick, that you talk about becoming legendary. Preston Kutra hasn't really done anything up until then. 3 straight plays, 50-50 ball. Randy Moss-esque going up over the defender. There's still some time left for Lincoln Christian. But we talked about how many times has Malcolm not taken advantage of the opportunity that Lincoln Lutheran has given them. And finally, they were able to get over the edge. Now they have a 4-point lead.
The point after is up, and it is good with 29 seconds on the clock. It is 28-24. I do not.
Now, Nick, do you kick it to Caldwell?
You can't. Caldwell, that's what I was just going to say. We got this game started on an 86-yard touchdown kickoff return by Charlie Caldwell. He will be lined up back there for Lincoln Lutheran, who trails now for the first time in this game. They're down 28-24. They have a couple of timeouts remaining. They will have the wind at their back. And A.J. Iverson, their backup quarterback, has shown the ability to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Malcolm, the one thing you do not want to do is kick it out of bounds and give them the ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and the one thing also you have to be aware of, Nick, a lot of the players that are going to be out there for Lincoln Lutheran have just been on defense for 10-plus plays, and then also the defeating touchdown there by Malcolm. It's going to be about, if they return it, it's probably going to be about 24, 25 seconds left. You got to dial up your best plays here.
They're going to give him a chance to return. They'll reverse it. Here's Caldwell. Caldwell splitting his way through traffic, and he's sandwiched at the 25-yard line as the clock shows 27 seconds remaining. 28-24 is your score. Lincoln Lutheran down by 4 points with less than 30 seconds to play in the ball game. What a matchup we've had tonight in C2 action.
Yeah, Sean Weeding is in the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors that came in with a great game plan, really, really aggressive, trying to deliver the knockout blow on the road. Malcolm, the young team, not a lot of playoff experience, but the heart of a champion, trying to defend their home field after beating the same team last week. Battled back, stubbed their toe, battled back, gave up some, finally took the lead with 26 seconds left, 27 and 0.4 seconds left. They are defending against a touchdown, which definitely works in Malcolm's favor. So now they have to tackle and make sure that Lincoln Lutheran doesn't get an explosive play here in the first two plays.
Here we go. Iverson, quick pass near or far side. It's tipped, picked up. Malcolm is going to survive.
Yeah, Jake Walters was a Johnny on the spot, trying to do a little bit of a hook and ladder there where Iverson was going to throw to Caldwell, and I think Trimble was coming up the sideline to try to get an explosive playoff to get go. What did I talk about, Nick? When you start to have the elements and you catch the ball into your body, sometimes it could hit off your forearm, bounce off. Unfortunately, for Caldwell, he's going to focus on that play. He had a tremendous game. This is one of the best. I would probably say this is the best game we called all year, right? You know, we normally don't get out to C2, but man, Malcolm, you got to tip your hat to both teams. Unfortunately, had to end like that, but this is one of the most exciting games we've called in quite some time.
22 seconds officially still on the clock, and they'll just have to kneel it down a few times. Will the Malcolm Clippers? They will survive, and they will advance to play the winner of Norfolk Catholic and UTAN next Friday. After this one started in 17-0 fashion in favor of Lincoln Lutheran, the Warriors, they allow a 2-for-1 to end the second quarter, to start the third quarter. Malcolm scores with 29 seconds to go in the ball game on a pass from Gavin Little to Preston Kuchera. And Malcolm wins it 28-24. Let's go ahead and step aside. We'll come back in 30 seconds with your thoughts in the postgame here from Malcolm High School on 93.7 The Ticket.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now back to high school football on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My, oh my, what a finish we had. What a ball game we had here tonight from Malcolm High School. Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman. Your final score, the Malcolm Clippers 28, the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors 24. A game, Jay, that you tip your cap to the Malcolm Clippers, but man, if you're the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors, this is an agony of defeat moment because you felt like you probably let this one get away.
Yeah, I mean, when you play in these games, and obviously, we're going to see one tomorrow, winner take all. These kids have put a lot of time and energy into this game of football in high school. Some of them, this is their road. In some cases, ends now. And if you're Lincoln Lutheran, you came out and you had total control of this game. You executed the game plan that you made great adjustments on from the week before. And then you just got a little bit over your skis and the momentum shift didn't go your way. And, you got to tip your hat to the Malcolm football team as well. They kept battling very easily, being down 17-0 at home. You could have just packed it up and went home. They stayed down for the cause and battled through, and finally took advantage of an opportunity and came away with the 4-point victory.
Who knows? Maybe we find ourselves once again at Malcolm next week as Malcolm will survive. They will host the winner of Norfolk Catholic and UTAN next Friday night. Once again, your final score, 28-24. The Malcolm Clippers come from behind. They were down by 17 at one point in this game. Jay, we talk about the middle 8 all the time with Nebraska football. We saw how important it was tonight.
Yeah, and it almost didn't work out for Malcolm because they had a chance to really triple down on it, and they stubbed their toe. They just went to a quick 3-and-out, punted the ball.
Yeah.
They were able to get the ball back, get a quick score, come out at halftime, another quick score. Then they got punched again where Lincoln Lutheran went right back down it. Then they came back themselves and did it, and then they were finally able to kind of, when they both were going back and forth, take advantage of it and go right down the field, and obviously ended it with an exciting play. I mean, for Malcolm, they have to be proud of themselves. When you talk about you play to the very end, their coaches have really trained their players to do. I know Lincoln Lutheran is, obviously feeling, obviously down right now, but this is a heck of a ball game that we were able to call tonight.
I would imagine that part of the conversation on that Malcolm sideline going forward is as they go farther in the playoffs, the more they cannot afford to start slow like they did tonight. I'm sure that's part of the conversation, but for now, you enjoy this one because you came from behind, down 17-0 at one point, down 24-7 at one point as well, and you score 21 unanswered points to win it. 28-24. They caught a touchdown pass from Gavin Little to Preston Kutra on the near side of the end zone. A simple fade into the near side, and it was hauled in by Kutra, the junior wideout for the Malcolm Clippers. That'll do it for us here from Malcolm High School. Can't thank you enough for joining us wherever you may be tonight. If this is an indication of how this playoff season is going to go, sign us up. I can say that resoundingly here for Jay and myself. Once again, Nick Sainert alongside Jay Foreman. Can't thank Tristan enough back in our 93.7 The Ticket studios for pushing all the buttons, making sure we stay connected here. Your final score, one last time from Malcolm High School. The Clippers survive, and they come back in comeback fashion, 28-24 against the Lincoln Lutheran Warriors. We'll talk to you next Friday as we continue the playoff run here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
A business's phone is the lifeline